Hello, everybody. Welcome to a new podcast of mine called The Flip Side. In this podcast, I have a sit-down conversation with other people from various walks of life, and we talk about the flip side of things. So we'll have different guests from the reselling world, outside the reselling world, and the goal is just to educate ourselves and become better human beings. I hope you enjoy the show. If you like my guest, all of the information is down in the description below. You want to do this in English or in Russian? I'm doing the whole
Um,
show.
we could do both. My Russian sucks. I don't have anybody to talk to in Russian around me. Like,
You don't
besides
talk to your husband in Russian? Yeah. No?
no, because he doesn't know as much Russian as I do. I knew more than him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
so.
interesting. What about like the kids? They don't speak Russian? You don't speak
Oh,
Russian
no,
with
no,
them?
we spoke Russian, but like I said, the past, 2 years now, they're, speaking English, and, it's,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm here with Enfisa. She goes by Far North Thrift, right?
Mhm.
On Instagram. She's so cool now that she decided to unfollow me on Instagram. She's growing so big. She decided she had enough of me, and she's like, I'm going to unfollow Paul and never get his messages. That's pretty
You
much
know
what
what?
happened.
I don't know what happened. I swear I did not hit the unfollow button.
Yeah, I swear.
No, I didn't.
All I hear is excuses. I
Oh
put
my
my
gosh.
phone to that. Put my phone on do not disturb, so you have my full attention. Okay, that's what
Yeah,
we're gonna
hopefully no
do.
one calls me.
Yeah, if you get So it's pretty funny. Every time I invite you to like something like this, you always like the preface like, "Hey, by the way, I'm not a reseller." For some reason, you always want to tell me that.
Oh,
Anytime I
well,
invite you to like a show, a live, or a podcast, you're like, "Yeah, I'll come on, just so you're aware, I'm not a reseller." You always like to
yeah,
say that.
I mean, I don't consider myself one anymore.
It seems like every time you tell me that, the number in your store always drops. You're like, by the way, I'm not a reseller. I only have 75 items. Then you're like, I only have 50 items. I think this week you said you only have 25 items. I'm like, oh yeah, she's
Not
definitely
even.
not.
I
Those
think
things are
it's lower
just
than
moving.
that. Yeah, yeah, I haven't been thrifting in well, okay, for me, this is good. In a month.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
so. Give us okay. We'll do a little research talk in the beginning before we get to everything else. How many items in your store? 10, 12?
No, no, 20. Probably
Oh,
20.
okay. Oh,
Yeah,
you're good. You're one
yeah.
of us.
Everything fits in one tub. It's all clothing. It's all folded,
Oh,
so it
there you
fits in
go.
one tub.
Good to
And
go.
I only sell things that are, when I'm thrifting for myself, personally, I'm always
Yeah.
going to be a reseller at heart, even though I'm not doing it for income or anything, because I just
Yeah.
can't leave things at the thrift
No,
store.
it makes sense. Yeah.
So
You
that's
see something good that sells for like 100 on eBay and it's like $3 at the thrift store. It's gonna be hard for you
exactly.
just to leave it behind. Yeah.
It's, yeah, especially with the thrifts I have. There's some good things there, and I can't help it. I'm gonna list it. I'm gonna pick it
No,
up. I'm gonna list it.
I don't blame you one bit.
Yeah, but yeah, I
So,
don't do it for like. It's only because I can't. I have no self control. That's the only reason why I resell.
do you know one reseller that has self control? I feel like that's a trait of being a reseller.
No, seriously.
I feel like it's something you have to be born with, no self control. Because I don't think I have any self control whatsoever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I don't have that.
no.
I can't help
I,
myself.
I, so introduce yourself to the people that may not know you. Like,
Okay,
give a couple things about you. Tell them who you are.
so my name is
What makes you
Nafisa.
tick?
My name is Nafisa. I am 26 years old. I live in Alaska. I resell sometimes. I used to be full time. I've done it for 5 years, maybe even more. Maybe it's been 6 years. And I have an unlimited amount of knowledge on clothing. I don't know where to store it. And yeah, I have goats. I have chickens. I
Yes.
have a farm out here. I'm kind of making sure my goats don't,
Oh,
terrorize.
your eyes are on the goats right now to make sure the goats are
Yeah,
okay.
I'm looking out the window,
Yeah.
just making sure they don't tear up. I don't know. You know goats. If you know goats,
Yeah.
you know. But
So, Anfisa, that's like a Russian name, right? It's a
yeah,
very
Russian
unique
name.
name, right? Yeah. So,
Yep.
were you born in this country, or were you born somewhere else, or?
I was born in Alaska, so my
Oh, okay.
parents yeah, my mom was born in Canada. My dad was born in Oregon, but my grandparents were born in Russia, and then they had to flee Russia because this was, like the early 1900s. They had to flee
Yes.
Russia. They went to China actually, and they were refugees in China. My great grandparents. Um, and then China didn't want them, so they shipped them to South America. So
Holy, they've
yeah,
been around the whole globe.
I know. I know. So I come from a family of refugees, and
Wait,
then
wait. So how'd they go from South America to Canada?
okay, so that's in the '60s, 1960s. The president of the United States. I don't remember who it was. Maybe it was Roosevelt. No, I don't think so. I could be wrong. I don't know.
It was some old white guy probably
Yeah,
if I were
probably
to guess.
like 100% that. But so yeah, the president of the United States granted my family into like a lot of refugees from South America into America, and then Canada also did the same. So my mom's side settled in Canada, my dad's side settled in Oregon, and then eventually they moved to Alaska to get away from society. I don't know. And
Okay.
created a little Russian village here in Alaska, and that's where I was born.
Yeah, that's cool. So pretty much your whole life you've been Alaska. That's all you know.
Well, when I was a toddler, my parents did move to Washington, and then we moved back to Alaska. So,
Okay.
but yeah, I spoke Russian. That was my first language. Like Russian, everything. My mom's Russian. Like they're like Russian and American.
So did you grew up with the whole like Russian culture? Like they taught you
Yeah.
how to like cook from a young age. You
Yes.
understood like what chores were. You don't have an allowance, right?
Oh no.
There was none of that, right?
No. It was like, you know, go dig up the potatoes in the garden. Butcher a chicken for dinner. Russian.
Yeah, it's just like people that don't know, like I'm Ukrainian, so I have like very similar like
Background.
upbringings to you. Yeah, so like I'm like all my friends are like yeah, how much allowance they have? I'm like allowance. I'm
That
allowed to live in my house. That's my
right?
allowance. I'm allowed to live there.
Exactly. That's it.
Like if you don't do your chores, you get kicked out. That's my allowance. There was no extra money coming in.
Oh yeah, we were hard workers growing up. We always had like a homestead or a farm or something, like a small version of it.
So did your mom teach you how to like cook and stuff as well, or where'd you learn
Oh
that from?
yeah. I started cooking at like a young age. I don't know. I don't even know how old I was. But yeah, I've been baking my whole life. I've been making things from scratch. I make
Man,
my own pasta.
so, yeah, some of your food on Instagram, man, looks tasty.
Yeah,
Like
so like
the
all of
stuff
that.
you've been making with, I wrote this down here because I have no clue what it is. Fiddleheads? I have no clue what that stuff is, but it looks delicious.
Yeah, fiddleheads are cool, right? They look weird, but they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
They're
Are
like,
they like, is that something you grow or do you just find them like in the woods? Like
yeah, you
mushrooms?
just find them in the woods, but they are very. You have like a week out of the year. That's it, and then they're gone
One
because they're.
week?
Yeah, do you know what fern plants?
Yes. Uh-huh.
So that's fiddleheads when they're babies.
So you killing future fern trees?
No, no,
Are
no.
you
You
not,
take
are you not ashamed of yourself killing baby ferns?
well, okay. So a fern has like 10 or so leaves, right?
Okay.
So it's like a bush, and you should only pick like 2 or 3 from that bush. So no, I am not killing a
Oh,
fern.
okay. So okay, interesting. Wow. And
Yeah,
is it grow everywhere, or is it just like an Alaska thing?
I mean, no, ferns grow in Maine. I know, like some people follow me. They just told me they found some in Vermont. I don't know what that is. That's like east. That's near you. I don't know
Well,
any of the states in the
it
east
used to be
side.
near me. Yeah.
Oh, that's
I'm
right. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I
So
chose the opposite life of you. You want snow. I
you,
want beaches.
it's so funny because you're actually like, we're literally the furthest apart in the entire United States right
I'm
now.
pretty sure. Yeah. 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 In the continental, yeah, I'm pretty sure we're the furthest apart, right? Because I'm the farthest down south, and whatever you're up. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's seriously like, if I was to drive to Florida, it would take me a whole week, probably more. It's like
Probably.
3,000 miles.
Yeah. I don't think many direct flights go from Alaska to Florida either.
No,
You
I'd
might have
take
to go
like
to like Washington first, then to Chicago, then to here or something like that. Yeah. So
hmm
yeah.
Oh,
We are okay.
it's like going to a country, another country. You know, going to Alaska is like another country.
Have you ever been down here before? Or-
To Florida?
Yeah.
No. Like I've only been to the West Coast and the middle of the United States. I've never been to the Eastern Coast. And I
What's
always
like
hear that it's
middle,
like
like Texas? You've been to Texas or
um no, like Utah, Minnesota, the boring
Utah's
ones.
still West Coast, but Minnesota, I guess, is middle.
Yeah,
Minnesota's a weird place. What were you doing in Minnesota? That's a weird place to visit.
hot springs. My mom's Russian.
Oh, okay.
So she, hot
D-
springs is a thing that they
you
hunt
know,
for.
like 5 minutes from me, there's the Warm Mineral Springs, which is like one of the
Really?
most, one of the like top 10 most healing bodies of water in the world, not just in the country, in the world. And you will go there, you think you're in Russia. There's like
Really?
200 people, and every one of them speaks Russian and Ukrainian. It's like it's crazy. It's so
Yeah.
funny for me because I don't look Russian or Ukrainian, right? I'm young too. Everybody's there older, so I'm just walking around people. Everybody talks so much smack about me, thinking I'm like American, and they they say all this junk about me in Russian, and I'm like, "Привет, добрый день." And they're like, "Whoa."
Yeah, no, that's been my whole life. I always went with my aunts, my grandma, my mom. Like they're all into hot springs. I know every single one on the West Coast.
Yeah, so like those are hot springs. This is a warm. So this isn't a hot spring. This is a warm springs. Because in the same fountain, there's a hot and a cold springs together, and it becomes a warm spring. It's like a crazy thing. Yeah. So. To tell your mom about it. She'll be here next week.
No, my mom has been to Florida. She had to go there for work or something, and then her work basically rented a supercar for her.
Oh
So
wow.
she, she had like this really nice car, and she like toured Florida, and I'm like,
She's probably been here before then. Ask your mom if she's been to Northport. She'd probably say yes. There's a
oh, that's her.
Northport is like the Slavic capital of Florida, man. Say no matter like I can go to a post office. I went to a Walmart today. I hear Ukrainian. I hear Russian. I hear Polish. It's
Isn't it
crazy.
funny how like every state has like a Slavic capital? Like there's always every
Oh
state
yeah,
I feel
no.
like has a Slavic community in it.
Yes, Slavs stick together, man.
Yep.
We definitely do. Anyways, I took you off the tangent of what was it called? Fiddleheads. Sorry,
Oh yeah.
go back to that. Yeah. So once a week is this a season now for them, or when
Oh,
was
it's
the season?
done. Yeah, they're already unfurled because they unroll into a fern.
Oh,
They come
okay.
like a ball and then they unroll into a fern, and in like a week they do that. So you have like literally 7 days to pick them as much as you can. I have a massive field of them, so I can pick as much as I want. But yeah,
Can you like
they're
store
done.
them for the future? Can you just grab a bunch and just like store them, and then they'll be still good,
So
or no?
yeah, like I always get questions like, "What do fiddleheads taste like?" I always say like a green bean, but like a mild flavor of a green bean. So they're like a green bean, and then they have a texture of like an asparagus. So you could pickle them, you could
Ooh,
freeze them, you could use them as a side dish, fry them in butter and all of that. But you have to thoroughly cook them. But yeah, you could
I
pickle
guess
them.
that makes sense. And how'd you know you could do that? Like find it online somehow, or you just walk around and
Yeah,
said, "Oh, that would look good for dinner. Let me try
no,
that."
no, it was probably something I read, like I don't know, read
Yeah,
somewhere, learned about it, and then I was like obsessed because I have a whole field of them, unlimited access. So
for sure. That's cool.
yeah.
That's like a goal of mine one day is to try one. I'm not sure where
Well,
that will be, but I will try one.
especially in Alaska, like we have the worst vegetables in the stores. Like they're terrible. Like tomato tastes like air. The onions are squishy.
Why is that? Because like it's coming from somewhere else or something, or
Yeah,
is it like it's not real? Uh,
yeah. No, it just gets shipped from the lower 48, and by the time it gets here, half of them are bruised. There's always like our produce sucks. It just sucks. So having fresh vegetables, fiddleheads are not actually vegetables, but having some fresh veggies from
close enough,
outside,
right?
like it's awesome because I've been
Yeah,
eating crappy vegetables all winter long. I like something
that makes
fresh.
sense. Yeah. So I don't know if you talked about this yet, but you guys live off grid, right?
Hmm.
Or
Yep, we
explain
still
to
live
people
off grid.
what that means. What is off grid?
So Off grid, I mean, people assume like off grid means you're in the middle of absolute nowhere. There's no roads to your
Yes.
property. There's no, like, you're hundreds of miles deep in the forest.
That's what I
Um,
thought when you told me at first. That
yeah,
was my idea. Yeah.
yeah. But for us, we just live like off of the grid, kind of like basically we supply our own power. We have our own water. We take care of all of our like power electrical needs. Like we live off of solar. We have a generator. We have an outhouse. I don't actually have a real bathroom. I do have a shower and stuff and
You
a
have an
washing machine.
outhouse? I didn't even know that.
Yes. Yep. An outhouse. Yeah.
Interesting.
Because it's
Interesting.
it's hard to get septics some in certain like properties up
Wait,
here.
wait. So, like in the winter when it's like negative like 40 and you have to go, you go outside?
Yeah.
You put on like 8 layers of clothes. You're like, all right, I'm gonna be back in 2 minutes.
You just take your fuzzy robe and then like a puffer and you run over. No,
Yeah,
seriously.
yeah.
Live
So,
off the
so like
grid.
the problem here in the normal places where we go to the bathroom, we always take our phones and we sit there for like half an hour. I don't think you have that problem in an outhouse, right?
Uh-uh.
You do your
No.
business and you're done.
You're in and out. But yeah, you got it. You're in and out because it's either too cold or right now there's mosquitoes.
Oh
So
man.
we
Oh.
want to get back inside or get out of there. Yeah.
So explain to me, an uncultured person, how an outhouse works. Do you just move it around and keep digging new holes?
So most of Alaska actually have outhouses. The more north you go, the less likely your house will have a septic just because of the whole winters here. Like
Yeah.
there's just so many issues with having septics the more north you go.
Yeah, yeah, like the ground will freeze, the pipes will freeze, all that stuff, right? I'm
And
guessing,
there's
yeah,
just you don't want to deal with that. So
yeah.
and just like getting the water situation, like pipes, all of that even is a huge issue. But anyway, so an outhouse is literally a hole in the ground with a toilet over it. Not even a real toilet, just
Okay,
like a toilet
and,
seat,
how big is the hole? Like how
deep.
deep?
Um, well, I mean, it just depends. If you're gonna hand dig, it's not gonna be that deep. We used an excavator, so it was
Oh,
pretty deep.
so your hole is good for like years, pretty much.
Yeah, and then you do eventually have to move it, but I mean, it's just like a regular outhouse. I guess like a lot of people would they not know what it is?
Well, like I know what it is, but like I never thought about like the logistics of how it works, just like, but like I figure like every year you have to move it to put a different hole, but then like what if you forget about like what a hole was and then you start digging and you just find that and you're like,
No, we've had that outhouse for 2 years, and we don't have to move it for a while. There's no need.
okay, so like it'll
It's a
be there for a long
Yeah, and
time.
it's a nice outhouse. We built it, we painted it. There's
Oh,
like
it's cute.
it's nice. So it's not like one
Is
of
it
those.
furnished?
I want to. I
You
want
want to furnish?
I want to put like a rug in there and like, put some like decor in there. I really do. Oh,
But,
and there's a
but,
window in there and there's like a light bulb on top.
you want to put some candles and some
One day a
artworks.
heater.
A heater.
Yeah,
I feel like that's important. I feel like that's a must right there. That
I
thing should
think
go
so.
before the rug. I feel like heater should be more important than the rug.
Yeah, like so that's what I want to do with my house. I want it to, feel at home.
Yeah. Well,
Cozy.
when I come visit you, there better be a heater in there. I'm just saying.
Just
By
don't
the
come for
time,
winter.
I guess that's true. That's true. Explain to me how winters work in Alaska. Like right
Um,
now, we're recording this end of May, so I'm guessing it's not
mhm.
winter right now,
No,
right?
it's actually still sunny. The sun is directly like right up there. And it's going to be sunny until like 10:30 p.m. But
And
in winter,
what time is it there right now for you? 5, 6,
um,
5,
uh,
5:20?
yeah,
5:20, I'm
yeah,
guessing. Yeah.
yeah.
So and what time does the sun start? Like,
It rises right now. I could be totally wrong. I need to like Google this, but it rises or it gets light at like 3 a.m. and then it gets dark
wait,
at like
3
midnight.
a.m.
Yeah,
So for like 20 hours, it's sunny. 20
18
plus
hours of
hours.
sunlight.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay, that's a lot.
So yeah, but in the winter it's the complete opposite. So the sun only rises at like 10:30 a.m. and then sets at 3:30 p.m. So
Okay,
we
so
get like
you get like
four
five,
hours,
6 hours. Okay, yeah, wow.
5 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. And when does like winter start and end for you guys? Like
Winter
approximately.
starts for us.
Yeah.
It sucks. Winter starts like end of September. We get our first snow like beginning end of September, beginning of October, and then it snowed all the way up until May. So what is that? How many months is that? That's a
A
lot.
lot. Too many.
Yeah.
That's too
And
many months.
a lot of those months are obviously in the negatives or like 0 degrees. Um so you have to enjoy winter to live here because winter is literally the entire year. So we get like 3 months off of winter. We have 2 seasons, summer and winter.
Yeah, that's the thing. You don't really have much spring or fall where you are. It's just
No, spring was
yeah.
like
See, yeah.
1 week, and then it was summer.
Like where I am right now, I would say we probably just have one season, which is summer. But there's a little spring, but it's not really that bad. Right now, it's just summer here, pretty
You guys
much.
get one day of winter though. I heard about that freeze you guys had last year.
Oh, that was the North Florida.
Oh,
That wasn't where I was. It
well,
was like 3 hours north from me. It did freeze and people had lost their minds. They had no clue what to do.
yeah. I followed some homesteading accounts in Florida, and they're like tomatoes froze, and they're like, oh no, I just got tomatoes. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? You have tomatoes
But
forever? How long do tomatoes actually grow then if they never freeze? Forever, right?
I don't know how tomatoes grow, so I'm the wrong person
I'm
to ask.
assuming a long time.
I go to a farmer's market and they're there, and I'm like, "All right, sweet. Let me buy it. Let me buy this tomato real quick."
Yeah.
It's fresh when I buy it. It's not like the tomatoes at your store, you know.
Oh
We
no,
have
my
a good.
tomatoes suck. I don't think I could find a single fresh tomato in the entire state of Alaska right now. So
Really? Dang. As
soon though,
did,
June is when the tomatoes start coming for like people who
okay.
grow in greenhouses. So I'm really excited for that.
What part of Alaska are you from, or like near? What part? I guess people can kind of
So
tell.
I was born near Homer. So do you know Homer, Alaska? It's in The Simpsons. They always
Homer,
show
Alaska. I'm
that little
googling
spit,
Homer, Alaska right now.
but they always show it on The Simpsons, and
Oh, they
it's
do.
yeah. I think I've seen a few.
Oh,
But
that's a interesting looking area. Is that
it's
a
very
bridge
south.
that goes to nowhere? No, it's just
It's just
yeah.
yeah, some land. But yeah, it's very south of Alaska. It's not the tail of Alaska, but it's like the southern part of Alaska. That's where I was born, but I actually
Right
live.
by the right by the water, right?
Yep, they're right on the
Okay.
ocean. Yeah, that's where I was born, but I live about 6 hours north from there. So I am technically still South Alaska, but they call it South Central Alaska. Um, but yeah, I don't
And so
live
is
up
that
way
close
up
to
north.
like Anchorage?
Yeah, very close to Anchorage, about an hour from Anchorage. That's where I go to thrift. Remember, I drive an hour one way.
So Anchorage, is that the biggest city? Is
Yeah,
Anchorage?
that is the biggest city.
Okay. Yeah, you're kind of far.
Yeah. So
So directions from my house to Anchorage by driving. You want to guess how long it is? Let's see if you can guess.
mm, ooh, okay, I might know this. 3,000 let's say 400 miles. No?
You said 3,400?
Yeah.
4,800.
Are you serious? Holy
4,800
crap.
miles away. And it says your route has tolls. This route goes through Canada. This station is a different time zone. Are you sure you want to go?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 77-hour driving, 4,800 miles. It says yes.
Wow. Dude,
That's
I could do it in a week.
that's a long way. That's a long drive. That's crazy.
It takes me 3 days from Alaska to Washington. I do sleep, don't worry. But
You drive from Alaska to Washington? You don't fly there?
I mean I do fly, but it's just easy. I love the drive. So for me it's easier to drive because I'm actually a Canadian citizen. So I have dual citizenship. I have
Oh.
the US citizenship and the Canadian citizenship. So, you know, I get to
That's
just go
probably a
whenever I want.
very pretty road trip, like through Alaska and Canada
It
to
is.
get to Washington. It's probably a lot of beautiful scenery, right?
It's
Yeah.
pretty cool too. And like last time I went, it was actually kind of nerve wracking and kind of scary because I went in November. I brought up my car and there was November is like winter. Okay,
Yeah.
November is like straight up winter. And I was up north in Yukon, and I was driving for like an hour, and I swear I did not see a single like light bulb, like human. It was during the night. No car passing by, no house, no nothing. It was
No, thank you.
like, for like an hour straight. No service.
I've seen way too many horror movies to know how this ends. No, thank you.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not
How
gonna
did you not lose your mind? How did you stay
I've done
sane?
it before. Yeah, to me, I've done it before, so I'm like, I know there's a town up there, so I just got to continue to go. But seriously, a whole hour of driving in the dark and no, like, not another light bulb, like, not
Now,
another
this was like on
car.
a highway, like an interstate, or
Yeah,
like just
the
like some
Alaskan
back
highway.
roads. Okay, so it
No,
was like on a highway, just there was no not lit
yeah,
up highways.
highway.
Okay,
But it was like 10
okay,
p.m. and I just kept
wow.
on driving until I got to the town, and then I pulled over and slept, and then I drove
So
back home.
what happens if you like run out of gas in that stretch? You're screwed.
You
There's
don't
no
you
service. You can't do anything, right?
you don't run out of gas because you need to be smart and prepare. You got to have a gas can in your trunk. So for my
Yeah.
car, because it was my trunk is in the car, I put a gas can like in a garbage bag, like double bag it, and I
Uh
always
huh.
keep that full. And I just every town I pass by, I top off my car. So yeah.
That's okay. What if your car breaks down then? Something you can't
Well, then
prepare for.
you're screwed.
You're screwed. You're just waiting for the other car in like 4 hours to pass by, and hopefully they're nice and pull over and help you, right?
Yep. Yep. And usually, okay, so do have another story. So me and my sister, that fifth wheel. We used to live in a fifth wheel before
Yes.
this cabin.
Hmm.
So when we bought it, it was in Oregon, and so my husband was up north working, like to get to the place he was working. It was like I think he had to take a plane and like another plane. I don't remember. So he was up
Dang.
north working, and we had this limited time to take this fifth wheel up. So me and my sister decided we could do this. It's a 40-foot fifth wheel. So, that's like one thing about Slavic people is like we could do whatever we want.
That's very true. Very true.
So, yeah, me and my sister, I was like maybe 23 at the time. My sister's like 20, 21. And we hauled this thing up across Canada. It took us like a week or maybe more. I don't know. And then somewhere up north, the axle of the trailer broke off. And we had to drive it for like an hour, limping it along. Like when you drive it, there was like smoke coming from the tire. And we had to strap that thing up. Me and my sister, by the way, just two women, strap that tire axle up, limp this fifth wheel to the nearest town. It was like an hour or so. And then we had to camp
Oh
out there for like
my
2 days.
goodness.
Hmm. So that's
And
what you gotta do.
this was middle of winter too?
No, this time was fall. It was like fall time. I think it was September. Yeah.
Lies. There is no fall time. You try to trick me.
In Canada? Canada has fall.
Oh,
I
oh,
swear.
Canada has fall. Okay, just Alaska doesn't have fall. Okay.
Yeah. And then we had to, because it was such a small town, we had to go to the restaurant and ask them for help and like, does anyone here like are they handy? Because there was no mechanical shop there. So we had to like ask the locals if they knew of
Just
anybody handy.
find some stranger that knows how to fix
Yeah.
something.
Yep. And then we paid him cash and bought him cigarettes, and he fixed it.
Wow. What a story.
And then we went back home, and it was fine. The trailer made it
Man,
home.
that was wild. Do you remember what town it was? You probably don't remember. No clue what town that was.
I don't remember the name of it, but I will always, whenever I pass by it, because you pass by the same town every time you're going
Yeah.
south or north, and I go multiple times. I always remember, I'm like, that's that campground we stayed at for 2 days.
There it is.
Broken ass trailer.
There it is. We found it.
Yeah.
That's
This is
awesome.
where we
Yeah.
broke down.
Like that's the beautiful part about like it was a terrible like time at the time, but like you look back at it now, you're like, oh, you will always remember. Like no matter what, you'll
And
always remember that.
I will always remember the guy. He stole our semi strap. We had this heavy duty like strap. He took it.
You think he did it on purpose?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, right. Oh, okay.
Semi straps are expensive. He took it.
It's like that guy. We bought him cigarettes and everything, and he stole
Yeah,
our strap.
and then we came home and we're like, "Where's the strap? Did you take it?" No. We're like, we didn't even see it when he brought the trailer. You know, once we came back to the trailer,
Yeah,
he took it.
that jerk.
Yeah.
You should
It's
stop
okay.
by next time and go find him. Like, yo, give me my strap back.
No, maybe he needed it more than me. I have no
Yeah,
idea.
probably. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Just like a 23-year-old and a 20-year-old. Just yeah.
Heck yeah, it was actually really, really fun. Okay. So most of the drive went really well. And we had a generator and like a 40-foot fifth wheel to camp in. We had like an oven, a microwave, a bed, a heater. Like it was an awesome road trip because you could just pull over. There's
Yeah.
bathroom in there. So yeah, it was pretty
Better than our house.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Way better.
And how long did you live in that fifth wheel before the cabin?
So we lived in it for 3 years and it sucked. Don't ever do that again. Um,
Well, you have a decent sized family, right? How many kids do you have?
I have 2 kids, yeah.
So
But it
yeah,
was
so
a 2 bedroom.
oh wow,
Yeah.
it's a big boy fifth
So
wheel. Dang.
yeah, it was like technically it was a toy hauler, but we converted the back toy hauler room into a master room and like storage room and all that. And that's actually where I resell, like used to resell. I used to resell in the master room. um, and yeah, I mean, we just converted that into like a little 2 bedroom house. We did winterize it for Alaska, but that didn't work. We also put a wood stove in there because don't ever go camping in the winter in Alaska without a wood stove. It's
That makes
terrible.
sense. Very
So
smart.
yeah, I mean, it was nice and cozy for us, but I'm glad that's over.
Wow. Okay, so you guys bought the property first, right?
Yeah,
And
we
then you were
bought the
like,
property.
yeah. So, sorry, go. Yeah.
Yeah, with the same fall we bought the property and the fifth wheel. We were like, heck yeah, we're gonna move into it right away. No, it didn't happen. We had to apply for permits because it is off of a state highway, and like making a road off of the state highway, there's red tape. Um,
Makes
so
sense.
yeah, we had to wait for that, and then we also applied for permits right before 2020. So the government's like
Oh,
shut down, so we couldn't move onto the property.
not the
for
right time to apply for permits. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so we had to actually rent a camp spot for a whole year before moving here.
So the property had no access to like the highway. You had to build that road yourself.
Yeah, it was raw land, just
Oh
like
yeah. Let's
easy.
rewind back to like people think off grid. They think you're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, we're pioneers. Okay, we had to start from the
to
ground
yeah,
up.
we have to build a road to get to a big road.
Oh, yeah, no, it
So
was.
how much I guess miles over or whatever feet of road did you have to build? I'm intrigued now. This is interesting.
Not that. If the driveway is only like, I would say, I'm terrible at feet. 1,000 feet,
Okay,
maybe
so all you have to do
more.
is just build a driveway. It's not
Yeah,
like you have to
and
build
then the
like
gravel pad.
oh, I thought you had to like build like a road to get to like a big road or whatever, and then build your driveway off that road.
No.
Okay, so you like buy a road, you just there's no way to get to your house from that road before the
Yeah,
driveway goes.
because
Okay.
we used to just park literally off of the state highway and hike in. But like, it's a terrible place to park because it could easily cause a crash.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
So
so
how big is your property? Like big?
it's 11 and a half acres, and
Wow.
there's a river and 2 streams on it.
Dang.
Yeah,
That's
we have
awesome. That's
salmon out
huge.
there. Yeah,
I love me some salmon. Love me some salmon.
so yeah, it's a
Salmon
pretty neat
roe.
property. Obviously, like people will sacrifice living in an RV if they want a property like this. Like 11 acres is a lot especially for someone like us. We wanted a homestead so bad, so we sacrificed luxury
Yeah,
living,
for sure.
which is basically power and running water, unlimited.
That's a
We
lot. That's a lot to
sacrificed
sacrifice.
an actual toilet.
Yeah.
Well, the RV had a toilet, but we didn't. For the winter, you don't want to use the toilet in the RV. It just
Yeah.
freeze.
So you get the property, then you guess you do the red tape, you get the road. Then what came next? The well? Did you dig your own well, all that stuff too? Or?
Yeah, we had to build up this gravel pad, and then we had to clear it. My husband did all of that. He's like a dirt work guy. You know, he's an excavator man. um, and
Probably
then
saved a
we,
lot of money because he did it, right? It
oh
sounds it
yeah,
sounds sounds
we did it
expensive.
all ourselves. Yeah,
Yeah.
we got the well in, and what else did we do? I mean, we started the farm, and then I garden and stuff, and then we built the cabin last year, finally, after years.
So so your power comes through solar, I'm guessing,
Hmm.
right?
Yep.
So okay, and that gives you enough the whole like you never run out and never
Well, we don't have the normal things people have. We don't have a dishwasher. We don't have a
makes
dryer.
sense.
We air dry all of our clothes. I do have a washing machine. Um,
Oh, fancy! Look at you.
yeah. I have a propane water heater, so it doesn't require electricity. We cook on propane. Um, but
Wow.
yeah,
I'm guessing you have a fridge, right? There's a fridge.
there's a fridge, but we need a new fridge. We
Not
have
good
a
enough.
fridge. Yeah, no, it's not good enough. But yeah, it's a small fridge, and yeah, I've got like incubators, which are they hatch eggs for me. Heat lamps going. I use all the lights. We charge all our stuff. We have power tools. Like it's good enough for us, but we don't have like major appliances. If that makes sense.
Do you have TVs?
No,
What do your kids do?
they play outside. Okay.
Whoa! In 2023, they play outside. Is that allowed?
We had a TV in the RV, and we did not touch it the entire time we lived in it. We have laptops and tablets. Like, there's no point in a TV. Like, if it's just gonna
Very
sit
true.
there. So we
Very
just got
true.
rid of it.
You guys don't have like family nights, movie nights, where you just all by the TV with your
No, no,
popcorn
no.
in
We
hand.
do. We do have family nights, but it's like I said, it's on the laptop, and it sometimes sucks because we do want like the big screen and like the popcorn, but we're not gonna go get a TV just to use it once a month.
Yeah, for sure. It makes sense. And then you told me you used to have Wi-Fi until something happened.
Oh yeah. So dumb. I anyway, I we bought Starlink. We got it finally. We actually applied for it like 2 years ago because you had to like I don't remember what it was. There was a down payment and everything. And Alaska just wasn't ready at that time. And then finally, this spring, we got an email that we were getting our Starlink, and we got it installed. And
So Starlink is like the Elon Musk Wi-Fi thing, right? That's what Starlink is,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
and
Okay.
it
So
works in remote Alaska. Some
how
people
does it work? You just get like a dish or whatever, and then it just attaches to the
yeah,
satellite, and then you're good. Okay.
no satellite. I think it's just like the dish and the thing that it's on. I'm terrible at words, but and you have to mount it on something. But when we got it, like we just didn't do that yet, so it was in the middle of our driveway on the driveway. And I went to go to the gym one night, and my husband's like waving at me, and I'm like, "Oh, bye!" Like, bye. I thought he was waving bye, and I'm like backing up the truck, and I hear like a clunk, and I'm like, and the minute I heard the clunk, I knew exactly what I ran over.
Oh man!
And
Wow.
so he's like waving at me, and basically telling me to stop. um,
Whew.
yeah, like a couple of days after setting up Starlink, it was amazing. Those couple of days, just you know, you don't know what it's like to not have Wi-Fi until you don't have Wi-Fi. you know.
Dang. So
So
what are you doing now? Waiting for another one, or what do you have to do?
yeah, we could we still have it. It's broken in the box. But we're just gonna order the parts that we need. It's like $300 or something, and we just gotta go do that. We haven't done that yet. So yeah,
So the lesson here is, from what I heard, was don't go to the gym. That's the lesson. That's the lesson I got from that story.
Yeah. That was it. Especially late at night. That's actually the worst time to go to the gym because then you can't fall asleep after because of pre-workout, you know?
And that's what I heard. If you guys want to have Wi-Fi, don't go to the gym. That's the lesson right there. It's the lesson of that story.
Yeah, it was a terrible, terrible night. I did not go to the gym after that.
Well, yeah. I don't blame you.
I was like, you know what? I'm just going to sit here. I sat in the truck in silence for like 10 minutes. I'm like, I can't believe I just did that. But whatever.
I've been there before with similar situations. That was also my first body, just like sit in silence and just like in shame. Just sit there in shame and like, oh
Yeah.
man, can't believe
And,
that.
and so did my husband. He like walked up to it and he looked at it. And he just kind of like walked back on the porch, just stood there. We're like, shit, whatever.
It's like one of those like gifs where the guy spoke with something with a stick. It's like, do something.
Yeah.
That's your husband out there. Like, hey, come on.
Oh man. No, I felt
that's-
bad, but he was like, "No, it's okay. We'll go just get another one. We'll fix this one." I didn't completely run it over. It's fixable, so it's just we don't have Wi-Fi right now.
It's okay. You guys,
We'll
I'm
figure it
sure you'll
out.
survive.
Yeah.
I don't have Wi-Fi for like half an hour and I freak out.
Because like all your devices are connected to it, you know, and so when you're like, "Oh, I need to, like my printer needs Wi-Fi," and you know, it's a whole hassle.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, at least you have a nice husband. He didn't freak out about it, right? So that was good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's got way more patience than me.
How did you meet? How'd you meet him?
So he was actually friends with my sister, my older sister.
Oh,
So my older sister and she was dating one of his friends, and so they were always hanging out and whatever. And then I've known him for years, and then because he lived in Oregon, and then I went to his teenage party, and and then we started dating.
in Oregon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so this so you moved back, I guess, with your family to Alaska, and he just came later. Or how'd that work out?
So we were living in Washington, and then my mom had a second place in Oregon because of her work. So I was going back and forth between Washington and Oregon because I had a bunch of friends in Oregon. All of them are Russian. Slavic people stick together. And then
Big facts.
yeah. And then we dated, and then we got married, and then we moved to Alaska.
Oh, okay. So you got married in like the 48.
Yeah, I got married in Oregon.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. Interesting. I
Yep.
thought you met him in Alaska and everything was there. You met him.
Well, it's interesting.
You converted him. He was a really good Oregon guy. And you're like, nope, Alaska.
No. It's interesting because he actually lived in Alaska when he was like 12, 13, and 14. He lived in Alaska, I think. I think that was the age. And he was living with his sister, and he was helping them fish, like commercially and stuff. And so, I mean, he knew of Alaska. He's been here before, so it was pretty cool. And we moved here, and we liked it, and we've liked it since. So we're staying.
He was like the perfect guy for you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
More patience than me. I don't know. He's just all of this. By the way, all this like homesteading is my crazy idea, and he's along for the ride.
So what is like homesteading? Homesteading, like having like your own animals, I'm guessing, right? Having your own, growing your own food, your own plants, your own animals. That's
Yeah,
what it is?
we fish, hunt, grow our own food. Like all the chicken. I don't buy chicken. I don't buy eggs. I raise my own meat, and our goats are gonna have babies in like 3 weeks, so we're gonna have goat's milk. So,
wow.
I know.
So
And-
what animals do you have right now?
So I have ducks, chickens, cats, dogs, goats,
Moose.
moose. Literally, actually, today we were just on a walk, and there was a moose. It's
Of
kinda
course
scary.
there was.
Huge.
Of course there was a moose when I wasn't present.
This one, yeah, we should tell them. Like this one time, I was on live on your channel for like.
It
an
wasn't just a
hour.
live. It was me and Carissa. We did a 24-hour listing live because we're crazy and stupid. And you were like, we were like I don't know,
Hunting
probably like
moose sounds.
18 hours in, we were thinking about quitting, getting out, and you were like, "Guys, don't quit. I'm gonna come on in a couple hours. I'm gonna show you a moose. It's gonna be great, but you have to list this much items before I show you a moose." You're like, "All right, Carissa, we got a list. We got to go ahead. I want to see this moose." And you come on, and there's no moose. You're like, "Sorry,
I
the moose is
drove
gone."
I drove miles down there.
Yeah,
Everywhere.
you tried. The
I
effort was there.
swear that was the only day I could not see a moose. Because they're everywhere here. They're like,
Yeah, yeah.
walks by.
We're like, this is some fake news over here. She promised us a moose.
Yeah.
There's no moose.
No, like, you guys were so disappointed. Like,
We were so disappointed. Yeah.
they are real. I swear.
And then, like, the next day, you sent me, like, pictures, like, look, look, look. I'm like, yeah, where was this yesterday?
Yeah, it's so funny. But yeah, they're literally everywhere. They're like deer. What do you guys have in Florida? What do you have in your backyard? Like, what walks around?
Alligators.
Do they really?
Well, I haven't seen one yet, but they're, like, by the swamps, there's all of alligators. We have cougars, we have lynx, we have Florida panthers, bobcats, like those kind of things. We don't have. I haven't seen a deer or a moose or anything like that here. But
Yeah, I don't think there's moose down
just
there.
like big cats and like alligators. That's what we gotta watch out for.
Remind me to not go to Florida.
What are you scared of? You scared of a little cat?
No, like an alligator. Aren't those things like massive? Or is it?
They are massive. So I said I've been here for over 100 days. I haven't seen one yet. But I am so scared of seeing one that as soon as it gets dark, I'm staying inside. I don't go outside for nothing. Just because I figured if I see it in the daylight, I could do something. I could figure something out. If I go out in the dark and it's hiding underneath my truck, I'm going to pee my pants. I'm going to do something. And everybody that keeps telling me, like, Paul, you have a stupid fear. They won't be there under your truck at night. I'm like, yeah, but what if they are?
They could be.
So they just hang out around like bodies of water, like swamps or whatever, ponds, something like that. So I don't have anything like that close to me, so he shouldn't be here. But just in case there's just one chilling, I'm gonna stay inside and I'm not gonna sit.
Yeah, that sounds scary. I wouldn't want to encounter a crocodile in the wild. Or I say in the wild, but like, is there wilderness in Florida?
Yeah, we have a huge state park really close to me. Did you ever follow that story about Gabby Petito? I don't know if it reached you guys in Alaska.
Oh, was that near you?
Well, the guy who killed her, his parents lived 3 minutes from my house, or lived 3 minutes from my house. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I didn't even know either. I completely forgot about it. But by my post office, there's a memorial for her. I'm like, oh my. He was here. So after he tried to hide from the people, he went to a state park, which is like 5 minutes away, and they couldn't find him for days just because how wild and marshy it is there. So yeah, so we have a lot of wilderness around here. But yeah, we have like a big state park and Mayaca State Park. That's where he went. There's tons of gators there. So if you want to go see a gator, you can go there. But it's like marshy and woodsy and not for me. Nah, I'm going to stay over here.
Yeah. I mean, we have bears here. So if you enter, the wilderness out here, you might encounter a bear. Which is scarier, a bear or a crocodile or an alligator?
I feel that they have both their strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I wouldn't want to see either. I'd rather see a dog.
I have, yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen a bear here, and I've never heard of a bear here because I'm so like near the ocean. I mean, there's a chance. There's always a chance that a bear will wander in here, but just like you, they might find one under your truck. I might find one on top of my truck.
Well, I'm sure you will see your bear a lot faster than I see my alligator. I can promise you that.
That's true. Probably. We actually have.
When you walk here, like when you walk your property, do you have like a gun with you just in case you do encounter something like that?
Usually, yeah, but I've been like so used to not like, I don't know. I should basically.
Just like in case you see a bear and you're like an acre away from home.
But if we just went camping last weekend, and we do bring a gun with us because the way we camp, it's in the wilderness and it's there's no service sometimes. So, and it's in
It,
bear country, so you have to become
it's
prepared.
camping. It's not glamping, right? It's real camping.
Oh yeah, it's like roughing it camping. You gotta. He brought a chainsaw, so we had to go get our own firewood because
Wow. Dang.
yeah, and but yeah, you do the dishes in the creek. It's fun.
That's so. What do you have? Like tents? Like you live in tents?
Well, we do have a tent, but we also car camp as well.
Oh, okay. That
Yeah,
works. That
yeah.
sounds legit fun, though. I'm not gonna lie. That sounds
It
like a good
is.
time.
It is. You bring a cooler of meat and beer, and you have a few beers that evening, and you grill some meat, and it's like the best evening ever.
And then like you catch fish if you need more food or whatever.
Yeah,
Or
you
yeah.
can hunt small game if you want to. You can fish. A lot of people have like toys like ATVs and like four wheelers and stuff. We don't have that.
Uh-huh.
So they go off roading. Right now, it's like the funnest time to go off roading because it's like muddy everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That sounds legit. I love going camping. I love going camping with my family, but we glamour camp. We don't do what you do. We get like a
Oh,
cottage by a lake somewhere, and
that's not
that's
camping.
that. What do you mean? It's just not.
A
Like
cottage?
yeah, we get a cottage. Get a nice little log cabin. It has to have Wi-Fi. Very
That's not
important. The
camping.
better.
No, 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 no. The listeners will tell you that is not camping. That is not camping.
Wi-Fi has to be involved. I have to post on my Instagram that I was there. That's a very important part
That is a
of the
vacation, not camping. That is
camping
a
experience.
staycation if you're staying in your
Well,
area. That is not camping.
it's like that place is like 3 hours from my parents' house. That's where we go. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
that's not
call it
camping.
going. We call it going to the mountains. We don't call it camping. We call it going to the mountains. To be honest,
Oh,
we don't
okay.
call
Is
it
there like
camping.
a lake or something there?
Yeah, there's a big lake there, and
Oh,
apparently we're the only people. Like my family, they know us so well there because everybody else catches and releases at that lake, and my family like, nope, we're catching and eating.
oh yeah.
And the people will like walk by and they're like, whoa, and we're like, where'd you get that from? And we're like, the lake.
Just from the lake to the grill, okay?
Yeah, but like we bring my dog with us. She loves it there,
Oh yeah.
and she's like never stays still. But when you take her on a canoe with you, she's like the most still dog ever. She just like chills on the canoe, just admiring the water and stuff, and she loves it.
So
Yeah.
she doesn't like to swim?
Well, she likes to swim if like we let her swim like close to the thing. I wouldn't let her just like out in the middle of the lake and swim. But
Hmm.
yeah, she's a swimmer. She's a husky. She's active in the water.
Oh
She
yeah.
loves everything. Yeah.
We have a Alaskan husky. He's outside right now. And he's like water love, like he's like a fish. He's always in the creeks. He's
Yeah.
always laying down. He's always in the water. It could be middle of winter and he still like walks around in the water.
Does he have like the runaway husky tendency, or is that Alaskans don't do that?
Not really, not anymore. We do have a tracker on him because, it did happen once.
Yeah.
But no, he's just, I think he's like laying on the porch right now. But right now he's like at home.
So he like is not on a leash or anything. He just chills there. Or?
No. I mean,
Yeah,
he
must
knows
be
he
nice.
knows not to go.
Must be
Your
nice.
dog would be like,
My dog, we treat her like a queen, but as soon as she's off the leash, zip, doesn't matter. She doesn't even know where she's going. She just loves the freedom of, oh, no leash, I'm out of here. And like I bought a tracker for her. I bought the AirTag, the Apple AirTag on her too, because like legit, like once every couple weeks, I get a phone call. She ran away again. She ran away again. She ran away again. And then you always
yeah.
find her in some like mud puddle, just covered in mud, because she was like, "Oh, it's freedom! I can do whatever I want."
Mhm. That's why he's on the
Yeah.
porch right now, is because he's covered in mud. He rubbed himself all over in mud.
Hey, there you go. That's
But he's
what's his
living
name?
the best life, King.
King.
Yeah,
Love that. That's a cool name,
yeah.
King.
He's a really good dog. He's like the only husky that I know that will not kill a chicken. Every other husky
Yeah.
will kill a chicken.
The opposite of mine. Mine killed many.
Yeah, like they have that like the instinct. Every time another husky is around a chicken, they like focus on that chicken and like have the look of kill.
Yeah, like she's with my parents, and my parents have like 20 chickens on their property, and my dad
Mhm.
likes to walk her around. And as soon as he walks by chicken, she goes, and she like,
Yeah.
and sometimes like she can't get in there, so she's smart, so she digs like a little hole for the chickens to climb out, so they can get out of there. And as soon as they get out, she pounces on them.
Yep. Yep. That's their
And
instinct.
I'm
But
like, you can't get mad at her. That's like her natural instinct. That's what she's like.
yeah,
That's what she was like born figuring out how to do. You know. So
it
it's like
took
me
me.
with like a steak. You put a steak in front of me, I'm gonna eat that steak. I'm not gonna just like
Yeah,
look at it.
it took me like a whole year because at first he did get to some of my chickens, but it took me like a whole year because I don't have like a job or anything. Literally my job is homesteading right now, so I'm outside like all day, and so I have that like freedom to train my dog. You know, as soon as he gets that look in his face, I would be like no, and I would like tell him not to do that, and I would basically babysit him for a whole year. And
Wow.
then now he's just free. He like the chickens come up to him, um, they lay next to him, they dust bathe next to him. Yeah, he's a really good farm dog right now. But that's
That's
because I took a
crazy.
whole year of every single day training this dog.
Can I send my dog to you for a month? See what you can do.
We could. I mean, she might come back with like
See what progress you can do in a month.
yeah. We
Wow,
could. I think
that's
your
crazy.
husky I think your husky is Siberian husky, right?
Yeah, she's Siberian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's bigger than my dog. My dog is a smaller husky. What would he be similar to? I don't know. He's smaller than a lab even.
Well, mine's a female though. She's like 50 pounds. She's not huge, but
Yeah, I think my
bigger than
dog's like
most dogs.
but my dog is definitely smaller than yours, just a little bit.
Yeah.
And he's a full-grown male.
She would dominate him though. If she
Yeah,
sees dogs that
probably.
are smaller than her, she goes on the offensive. She don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
she's a feisty
I love King. He's an awesome dog.
feisty one.
We love our
So
dogs.
so you have more. So you just have King, right? That's the only dog you have, right?
No, yeah, I just have one.
And then how many cats?
We used to have three, but now we have two. Um, our black one, we see him every now and then, and I try to catch him, but he has become a wild cat, and I have literally have tried so hard to coax him back, but I'm not sure what happened. One day he was here, and one day he was not, and now he's like this neighborhood cat. Don't worry, he's fixed, but he's like this neighborhood cat that like I don't know, like he shows up sometimes, and I feed him, and I'm like, okay, now bye. So now, yeah, now we have two cats. Um, we have Moose and we have Alaska. Of course, their names.
Oh, what what are the odds they'd be called moose in Alaska?
I know. And those cats are like spoiled. They're like indoors. They're like the cat that you see.
They probably get like fresh salmon and stuff to eat.
Oh yeah, they're so spoiled.
Yeah, that sounds like a Slavic cat for sure.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, we technically have three cats, but like I said, my third cat, I'm trying to get him back into the good faith in his
You
world.
think you give him some salmon, he'd just be like, I'm chilling here the whole time, but I guess not. Huh?
No, he does not want anything to do with me. But yeah, and then that's it. We just have one dog, three cats, a bunch of poultry. Like
I
at one
figure
point,
it's probably like hundreds or not that
at one
much.
point, it was like 150. Like
Wow.
I had turkeys, I had quails, I had all sorts of things. But now I think I have like 60. I think. I don't know.
What's like the biggest like natural obstacle? Do you have like fox or like raccoons or anything like that that like try to get in there or no?
Oh, so for me, I live kind of very close to the ocean. Like, not really the ocean. It's like they call it the flats. So it's like marsh, kind of like Florida. It's like marshiness.
Yeah, exactly like Florida. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's pretty wet, but there's thousands of acreage of this. I live like very close to it, like a few miles from it, and that acreage, that whole like flat marshy area, is home to like so many eagles, hawks, aerial predators. So that is my biggest thing. Like, I lose so many chickens
Those are the worst because it's so hard to protect them from
I
them.
know, I know.
Yeah.
I do have netting over the coop, but like seriously, they're so smart too. You can't do anything about it, you know. So
I've seen it happen once in my dad's property when just the hawk just goes and just takes it, and it's like two
yeah,
seconds. You just hear "Bang!" and you see feathers everywhere, and then it's gone. And we're like, what the heck just went down?
yep. And these eagles here are so huge. They're like, they could take my biggest bird, no problem, and take off with it.
Yeah, that's
So
crazy.
yeah, those are my biggest predators. I do have fox, but I've never had their coop is secure. Like, they've got fence and they've got netting, so they do. Hawk has never got inside the actual coop, but like, I free range my birds. That's how they get
Yeah,
them. um,
that makes sense. Yeah.
but yeah, and we could also have bears, but just never happened yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you plan on getting other animals, or is that gonna be it?
I'm still thinking about sheep.
Wow.
I want mini cows, but I know that's not a realistic.
A mini cow? What is that?
A mini cow. They're
Like,
mini.
that's a
They're
thing?
small.
They exist? Mini
Yes,
cows?
mini cows exist. Google
I
it.
have never heard of a. I'm Googling right now. Mini cow. Oh, they're so cute.
They are, and they're like, we have only 11 acres, so I mean, we don't have that much land
Oh
to
my goodness, they're so
rotate,
cute. I want a mini cow now.
right? They're so cute. And there are some in Alaska, so if I could purchase some locally, but that's a
Do you get the
unrealistic.
same benefits of a cow with a mini cow, just less of it?
I think so. Yeah,
Like
milk.
they provide you with
Meat.
milk and all that stuff too.
Yeah, milk. Meat. If you want to raise cows for meat, you could raise them for milk. Um, but what else? What else do I want? A
A,
donkey,
a donkey
a
for just to
horse.
have
I
one.
don't. I don't need these animals.
What about like bees? Did you think about doing that or
Oh,
not
we
in
did.
Alaska?
We did have bees. We did have bees.
You did have
Uh,
bees, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
we had a beehive, but last summer we had like 3 months of rain. I'm not even joking you. And so they got some. I don't know what happened to the hive exactly, but they got sick in the hive, probably from all the moisture and not enough pollen, and there's like a bunch of other things. And one week we checked them, the next week they were all dead, and it was so sad. Yeah,
In one
and
week?
yeah,
Holy moly!
we're not sure what happened. And we tried really hard. We actually had to buy a second queen bee, and so we're like, we're gonna give ourselves a bee break, and then maybe next year we'll get back on it.
Man, the homemade honey hits different, man.
Oh yeah,
Like people don't know honey until they try a homemade honey. That stuff is better than
it's out of this
anything,
world. I
any
actually,
sweet you can think of. Homemade honey, way better.
yeah, I make honey bread. We drizzle
Ooh.
honey on sweets, like, like cinnamon rolls with like whipped cream and all that. You drizzle
Hmm.
some fresh honey. Oh, it's so good.
Like if I'm drinking like tea or something, just give me bread with honey, and that's it. That's all
Yeah,
I need. Maybe sprinkle a little
homemade
sugar
bread.
on top of the honey if I want to. If I want something extra crazy, but no, man, that's it. Smacks. It
Yeah,
smacks for sure.
pretty great.
Yeah, definitely try it again and send me the honey once you get it. Okay.
I know.
But
We'll try, not this year, but we'll try again next year.
yeah.
Well, that's like so many. There's so many failures in homesteading. We lost 2 greenhouses from the wind. We lost our bees. One time I lost all of my ducks to
Wait,
an
what?
ermine duckling.
What is that?
I think it's called an ermine. I don't know. Google it. If I'm correct, they're like these white little, like giant squirrel looking things. I think it's called an ermine. I could be wrong.
Okay, it's like a ermine or a stoat. It's the same thing. I'll
They
show
look
you.
like little.
I'll show you a picture. You tell me if this is it or not. I don't know if you can see it or not. Hold on. Share. Can you see that on your phone?
Hold on, it's loading. Yeah, those little.
Look at this. This guy's eating eating something right now.
Yeah, no, seriously, it got on my ducklings one time.
One of them?
Yeah, just one.
How many ducks did you have?
I think I had like 12 little ducklings. They were
And
babies.
this little son of a gun ate all of
Yeah, I
them?
was so angry, and like we
This guy
saw
looks
it.
so cute.
Oh no, they're not. Terrible.
Wow.
But just like everything in life, there's always failures. You just got to keep going.
And that's like one of the things like I wish more people talked about, no matter what it is. Reselling, homesteading. People always like to share about the successes. Oh, I did this. I sold this for this. I did this for this. Nobody talks about failures, and then people, when somebody fails, they're like, "Oh man, am I like the only one? Am I the only one that sucks at this?"
Even with my 20 items listed, I have like 2 that are like, why did I even buy this? and I should be a pro at this, right?
Oh, only 2. I ask that question myself 10 times a day.
Like I wasted literally $10 on this item. Like why?
My thing yesterday is I bought a stack of video games. I looked at the top 2 and I'm like, oh, they're cool. I come home like the bottom 4 are empty, just the cases. I never got to them. I just bought it, not even noticing there's no game in there. I'm like what am I doing? What are you doing, Paul?
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Wait, so
sad,
what do you sell right now? Like what is your top
everything.
category?
Because of where I live, I would say golf clubs and electronics. Just because of people play golf here all the time, so you can go to almost every yard sale, find golf clubs. I don't play golf. I should though.
What?
But
Why not?
I'm not good. I suck. I don't have time. I'm gonna have to pay for lessons. Lessons are expensive. I should though. It's something I got to get into. And then on top of it, I'm a lefty, and nobody has left-handed clubs, and they're way more expensive. That's another big part about it. But I should get into it. But like you find them at every yard sale for like $5-10, and a lot of these golf clubs sell for 50 to 100. So like my best flips here were like golf clubs. I bought a set for 80, sold for like 500 a week later, like stuff like that. Yeah.
Wow.
And back in PA there was no golf clubs around because it was cold. So now people played there. Here it's everywhere.
That makes me think because like with clothing, you can never get those kind of sales.
Very rarely. Yeah,
Very
I never sold clothing for 500. That's for sure.
No, me neither. I sold one. That's it. One thing, and that's out of my entire career.
I can sell the hell out of a mud jean though. Give me mud jeans. I'll sell that thing for $9 all day.
Are you still selling them? Do they
No.
still sell? Oh, okay.
The only reason I had them is because I used to buy a lot of storage units, and I would be in all the storage units. So I'm like, I'm getting this for free.
Get a few dollars out of it, right?
Yeah, that was my mentality. Yeah, now it's because I only do garage sales. I don't do no mud jeans no more. Unfortunately, no more mud jeans for me.
Yeah, to me, mud jeans, they would price those at my thrift $10, $12. And that's
really?
My thrifts are expensive. I have to pay like a minimum like $8 to $12 per item.
Wow.
And that's clothing, by the way, like jeans, t-shirts, dress.
You got to be some good jeans for me to pay $12.
Yeah, I know. So I only pick up, like you probably know, I pick up a lot of like base layers and smart wool, ibex.
Yeah.
Again,
stuff that you would find because of where you live. Right? I wouldn't really find that here. Almost impossible.
Clothing.
Yeah.
So that's what
Some like Patagonia. I bet you probably find quite a bit of that.
Yep.
Yeah,
but now my thrift stores know what that is, so they price it. I'm not even joking you. They price Patagonia at $30, Arc'teryx at $50.
Wow.
There was something really cool at the thrift store last time I went. There was a whole huge bear like fur thing I don't even know what to describe it.
It's a thing.
It was like a king-sized bed-sized bear fur. I'm not even joking you. One piece. And it was
Like a rug? Or like something you wear?
something you would throw over your bed.
Wow.
For like, the thrift store was asking $500 for it.
Oh, you should buy it as a gift for your husband. That would be a great gift for your husband.
Oh my gosh, like I want it because I live in Alaska and like bear fur and like fur on your bed is like an Alaskan thing. I don't know.
You should have brought it home like, hey, babe, sorry about the Starlink. I got you this bear throw.
So basically, in that week, I would have spent $1,000.
Yeah.
Starlink, 500 on bears.
Just sell two things of clothes and you're good. 2 things of clothes and you're good. You pay for it.
No, I don't, like I said, I don't think clothing sells for, and if it does sell for 500, it's like once a year.
So, do you remember what was your biggest clothes sale? Do you remember how much you paid and what it sold for?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a designer item. It was a Burberry purse, so it was not even actual clothing. It was an accessory.
And how much you pay for that?
$12.
At a thrift store?
Yeah. So it was.
They don't know what Burberry was?
They thought it was fake, but I know Burberry. I went and I authenticated it as an authentic purse, and I sold it for $500.
Wow, that's awesome.
But I haven't done that since.
Yeah, so usually you don't find fake Burberry for $12. You find fake Burberry for like $50.
They had it like zip tied to the front, and so when I was like the first one in that store, so I saw it first, and I didn't even like look in the purse yet, but I immediately went to the cashier because they're zip tied. You have to get the cashier to get it off. And I saw the price, and I'm like, I don't even care if this is fake. Like, it's a gamble. It's worth it.
Yeah. If it's fake, you'll just own it. Just rock it or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
Or like my kids can use it. I don't really care.
Yeah.
Or it's $12 down the drain. It's $12. Like
you can use it as like a fancy egg pouch when you go collecting eggs. So you just put some eggs in it.
Or a makeup bag, you know? Like, you always need a makeup bag, or, you know, for traveling even. But anyway, so yeah, I bought it and I brought it into my car and I started looking, and I know how to authenticate things very well. So I started looking at all the tags and I'm like, oh, this looks real. I'm like, oh, I can't believe it. And it was.
Dang.
And I sold it in like, I don't know, a week or two or something crazy. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I think I did buy myself something nice after that.
I don't blame you. I usually treat myself to something good, like good food when I have like a big sale. When I saw this club, I'm like, all right, sushi tonight.
I don't remember what I bought myself, but I was like, I'm gonna go buy myself something because that's pretty cool. But I made sure that she accepted, because it was through Poshmark. I made sure she accepted the sale first before I bought myself something.
Oh yeah. Well, the good thing with Poshmark, you have to wait like 3 days. On eBay, you would have waited for like a month. And you're like, oh boy.
Is that what it is now?
eBay is 30 days. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't sold anything.
Whom is right? 30 days is way too long.
Yeah.
I talked to Tommy because Tommy mainly just sells shoes now, and he have like some people return like 29 days afterwards. They just start to return. They buy his shoes, walk in there for 29 days, and return them. It happens so often.
It's so annoying.
Yeah, but like I am way happier getting a sale on Poshmark or Mercari. I'm like, all right, cool. 2 days, I'm getting my money. We're good.
And you don't even have to think twice about shipping. Like for me, I don't have to weigh it. I just throw it in a box, you know?
That's good.
Throw it in whatever box I have.
I had a lady yesterday. I posted on my Instagram. I actually called Amber about it to try to figure it out. I think she's a viewer of mine and probably doesn't know how to use Poshmark. She bought things 8 separate times from me on Poshmark instead of bundling it. And I tried so hard to figure out how to make it into a bundle, and I couldn't. So I had to ship her 8 different things today.
Yeah, she just lost out like $25 or something.
I think more than that. What's shipping, like $8 right now on Poshmark? $9 somewhere in there, right?
I don't know. It's expensive. Can you believe how expensive shipping is now?
On Poshmark, that's cheap.
Well, no, on eBay, I think I was, and it was like just the past few months, like first class item for $9. Like holy
What?
crap! Yeah,
Really?
from Alaska. Yeah, I think I don't remember
It's still
exact
like
number.
$6 for me for first class. That's because eBay
No,
likes me, probably.
it was like $9 or something. I'm like, that sucks. I don't want to
Eh,
sell heavy things anymore. Poshmark
and
all the way.
I have people that follow me and they're like, "Hey, I want to get into it," and I'm like, "Start Poshmark, start Mercari. It's just way more simpler because eBay will confuse the heck out of you. It'll give you like a headache, and you would not want to resell after eBay. I'm telling you,
Where did you start at?
eBay because I'm an idiot.
Well, okay. How long ago was that?
2019, four
Oh,
years.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
a newbie. I'm new to this world. I'm new to this world. I made
Well,
so many mistakes on eBay. I thought that I could just put whatever I want in the shipping and it wouldn't hurt me.
oh,
I
I
feel,
did the same thing. I
I'd
did
be
the
like, let
same
me let me just put 1 ounce. This thing weighs 5 pounds. I don't care. Because back then I was still like I knew some friends at the post office. And I'm like, oh, they'll just scan it for me. It'll be good. Not knowing that it gets scanned at every post office, and they're like, wait a minute, this thing isn't 1 ounce. This thing's
Yeah,
five
and then you
pounds.
get back charged. Now you get back charged, but back then the customer, I don't remember what year this was, but I remember the customer had to pay
Yeah,
the, you know, the
to get the item. Yeah, to get their item.
and
They
I
would get
did
like a
that.
slip on the door saying you have something waiting for you at the post office. They go there like, hey, you owe us another
Why do
twenty
I have to pay?
dollars.
Yeah, why am I paying more money? Oh, oops,
Yeah,
sorry.
yep. Because your seller's Paul and he's an idiot. That's why you have to pay an extra $20.
No, when I began, that's the same thing. I just threw it in like flat rate boxes and stuff, and I didn't know what I was doing. I was overcharging or undercharging.
Yeah.
There was like no in between.
There's a lot of lessons learned in the beginning for me with eBay. A lot of lessons, a lot of things I had to eat, a lot of things that I messed up on.
Yep, same
It,
here.
but what made it better though afterwards is that when I went to Poshmark and Mercari, I was like, oh, this is easy. This is simple. So the transition to that was a lot easier for me.
It
But
is so easy. Like I list on eBay first right now, so I have my listing down, and I just copy and paste like the summary, and I go to Poshmark, and then everything is uploaded and pasted, and everything is
yep,
done in like literally 30 seconds. It's so easy.
you don't have to fill up any specifics or anything. You don't have to do any of that.
Yeah,
It's
and so I love Poshmark for that.
that's why I keep saying like I wish Poshmark had a bigger market share, and like it would be amazing to have Poshmark but with eBay's uh, buyers. So
Oh yeah,
like if it had as much buyers as eBay did, but have like Poshmark, their customer service, their relative ease of shipping and all that, it'll be great. There'll be a dream world.
well,
That'd be amazing.
someone like me who's just purely clothing, Poshmark is actually better than eBay. So I have to just share, like just constantly share. I don't actually do it, but my closet's constantly being shared. Um, and so like it's so easy. It's like for eBay you have to like put thought into it and time, but Poshmark is like chop chop
And
chop chop.
then like promotion, then you think about doing a
Yeah,
discount, making coupons, running sales, all that. Yeah, it's
the
it's
perfect title.
perfect.
It's
Yeah,
a lot of work.
a lot
I
of things
still
got
do
to go
it.
in hand.
I still do it, obviously, but
I and Poshmark is so easy. I had a friend of mine that has no clue what she was doing, and she would like listen to things like women's purse on Poshmark, and she would sell it. She wouldn't put like a title or what it was. She like women's purse. She was like women's top. That would be her listing, and I'm like, how the heck are you selling these things?
that would never sell on eBay ever,
No,
ever.
never. You will never find it. No one will ever find that item.
My family's
No.
home. My husband just came home with the kids.
It was your kid's birthday, right? Just yesterday or whatever.
Yeah, but we're gonna do another celebration this Sunday, because yesterday didn't quite go as planned. But yeah, I gotta.
What are you planning to do?
Well, he has a bunch of friends. They're just down the road, so we're gonna have breakfast there. We're gonna bring the cake and get him a present. Yeah, he's turning 6. What the?
What did he get? What was his present?
Just a lot of toys and books. He's got aunts, like my sisters, they're sending him a bunch of toy, just excavator toy.
Excavator toy. Oh, he's gonna be a
Like a
future
little,
excavator. Nice.
no, a little one.
I would hope not a big one. Well, he got some fancy ants. If they sent him an excavator.
And then I do want to get him, what is it? Another bike, because his bike is, so in the winter here, I don't know who's screaming outside, but if you hear my kids screaming outside,
I don't hear. I don't hear it. So.
But the winter, we left our bikes out somewhere, and then it snowed 2 feet, and we're like, "Oh crap, where are they?" You're supposed to put things away,
Yeah.
and then so they were stuck in the ice the entire winter, and they only just recently got them out, and the wheels are like kind of messed up. They're kind of broken.
Well,
So.
it makes if something's frozen for that long, probably not the best.
And then when you're trying to pry it off, like it's gonna tear something up.
I'm not a bike expert, but I don't think that's good.
So we got to get them new bikes, but yeah, just a lot of little things. Nothing too major.
Did they tell you what they want to be when they grow up yet? What they want to be like dad? Do you want to like excavators?
So, no, my son wants to be a pilot. He wants to fly planes, which is perfect for Alaska because there's so many bush planes here. There's so many gigs and so many things to do if you want to be a pilot. You don't have to be a commercial pilot. But yeah, he wants to be a pilot or a captain on a ship.
Okay.
And then my daughter, what did she want to be? She wanted to be. Hold on, I'm trying to think. Should I remember?
A homesteader?
No, I don't think she. So she said she wants to buy a Tesla when she's older.
Oh, hey, it's good to have goals.
I'm like, well, you have to have a really good job for a Tesla then. But no, what did she tell me? There was a specific career she wanted. It wasn't like doctor. It wasn't like a vet. It wasn't captain. It wasn't.
It was like a rare something interesting and unique.
Yeah, it was something interesting and unique. It was something different that you wouldn't like necessarily think of.
Oh,
now I can't
like a reseller. She wants to be a reseller.
I don't think so. Actually, no. It's pretty funny because they were there the whole ride, so they know. They sit there. If you ever have been around reseller kids, they like sit there and they put their clothes down like how I lay them out to photograph.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
They measure them. I'm like, oh my god.
They got tape measures and everything.
Yeah.
Did they have their own? They have their own lint rollers and all that.
No, it's actually pretty funny. I'm like, oh my gosh. Whatever.
Hey.
And then like when my daughter tries to pick out her outfit, she lays it out perfectly on the floor. Like, really, I'm like, that's better than me.
Hey. You could hire her to flat lay for you in the future.
Yeah. It's pretty funny.
That's awesome.
But yeah.
I want to talk about your greenhouse real quick before as well. So you said you failed it twice, right? Are you on your third one now? Is it good? Or
we haven't started building one because we kind of gave up on that too.
do you know why it failed? Like, was something that could have been prevented?
Yes, it could have been prevented. It's totally human's fault. But anyway, we live in a very windy area. It's like one of the windiest areas in my area, like in the south central part of Alaska. We get hurricane force winds every winter. So imagine it being -20 and then you get hurricane force winds. Like, no.
Why do you live there? What is wrong with you?
So, the first greenhouse was set to fail because we made it out of pipes, like plastic pipes.
Like
was
PVC?
never going to last. Yeah, PVC. We made like a little dome. That was never going to last. That was like beginner's fault. We were kind of not thinking too much about it. Like we should have thought about it a little bit more. And the second greenhouse, my husband took his time. He did it right. He did it well. And then we didn't realize that there was going to be hurricane force winds in October. So when we moved the greenhouse to the permanent area, we didn't, like, what is that word?
Secure or whatever.
Yeah, we didn't like. There was like you're supposed to make a foundation for it and everything. We didn't do that in time, and then I woke up and the greenhouse was on the other side. It was like falling over. and
Wow.
and when that happens, like the whole structure is like uneven. Then
Yeah.
so we just took it all apart. We salvaged all the wood pieces. It was like ugh, it was so annoying.
That's probably sad.
But I mean, it's our fault.
So what do you do now? You just like plant them inside the house? All the plants are inside the house when it's winter,
I
or?
I do have like a little greenhouse outside that has all my starts in there, like a little one. But we're working on the garden right now. Currently, we're finally finishing it. But yeah, we've got this massive field that we're planting in.
Yeah, I've been seeing your stories. You grow like everything.
Yeah,
Seems like you got every little fruit and vegetable possible to humankind in that garden.
hmm asparagus, strawberries, peas, beans, potatoes, carrots, beets, tomatoes,
Radish. I saw
peas,
radish today.
radish.
Yeah, that's my favorite. That's my favorite vegetable. Do you know that?
Really?
I can eat them things raw. Just give me a
No,
radish and I'll
they're amazing.
go to
Yeah.
town. So good.
Yeah, so we've got the garden. We're still working on it. That's like the only thing we're doing this year. We're like, screw the greenhouse, screw the bees. um, fencing is a big thing, and garden. So we're just gonna
So
focus on
what happens in the garden like in the winter? It just
it.
whatever.
Yeah, just fence it
Like,
off.
you see, like I don't know how plants work and stuff.
We literally have from May to September, beginning to middle of September to grow food, and then the whole year it's just dead because nothing's gonna live in the winter.
So then you have to like restart the whole process again, right?
Yep.
So,
Yep.
oh wow. So okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
So it's not like a tree that you have to keep like growing every single year and just grows bigger and bigger and more stuff comes.
yeah.
From
No. You have to restart like tomatoes and zucchini and cucumbers. Potatoes are easy because I mean here in Alaska potatoes grow so quick because of the sun. We get like 18 hours of sun. So anything like root vegetables does really well. Like carrots, potatoes, beets. And that's like kind of stuff that I'm gonna try to grow most of. And how am I gonna store them? I don't know yet. Don't ask me that question.
So the point of the greenhouse was just to have them during the winter. That was the greenhouse was there so you could have fresh veggies during the winter.
Not during the winter because that's still too cold for a greenhouse. But it would be like earlier, like March. I could start gardening.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
See, I thought you were like growing plants that we're gonna have like forever. See, like I said, like I have no clue how any of that farming stuff works. That's not my territory.
Yeah, there's like very few plants that would actually survive our winter. Like very few. I don't know. Like apple trees do okay. Strawberries, like everything you probably seen in my stories today, like asparagus overwintered. The apple trees, the strawberries, there's a lot of other ones I can't remember. Raspberries, blueberries, that kind of thing. They all kind of overwinter. But all the vegetables you have to restart every single year.
And then I'm guessing you can or whatever, right? Whatever you don't eat, you just guess canned.
Yeah, so we have a plan.
Very Slavic of you. Very Slavic.
Yeah, very Slavic. Very grandma of me.
Very grandma. Yeah. My parents have a whole room in their house for their canned things. That's how into it. Like, and they have everything. So like, they're coming down to see me in 2 weeks. And I'm like, bring me canned tomatoes, bring me canned peppers, bring me canned pickles.
Yep. That's gonna be
like, because like usually they fly, so they can't think of this stuff while they're flying. But they're driving this time, so I'm like, bring me this.
Yeah. No, I grew up that way. My mom still to this day, she's got like 3 freezers, a whole canned room filled with food. Literally, like the entire room is filled with food. Buckets of dry food. They've got buckets of flour and oats and all that kind of stuff. That's kind of like what we're trying to do.
I think that's like just something Slavic people grew up with. Maybe we just don't trust the government or whatever. I don't know why. Because my mom that has no reason to do that. She can buy that stuff all the time, but it's just something we do.
It's
Yeah.
in our DNA.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because up north, are all Slavic countries up north?
I
Maybe
think
it's
so.
like,
Yeah, I can't think of something down. I guess like the stands, like Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, they're closer to the equator. I guess they're more a little more
mm,
south, but they're still Slav. Yeah,
yeah, I think most Slavic countries had like long winters, so we always had to
long
prepare.
winters. Yeah,
We always had to have canned food just in case.
canned
you
food,
know,
and you also don't trust your government. You don't know what's going to happen with your government, and they're going to start selling stuff in the stores again. So you have to always be
that's
prepared for
true.
yourself as well
That's
too.
true.
That's that was a big part of. I know why we did it. It was just like the
Hmm.
because I remember in Ukraine when I was a kid, like one day they just decided we're changing the currency, and the money you have is no good anymore. You just need new money. And we're like, what the heck?
What the heck?
Yeah, that was crazy for me. Like I was a kid and I was like, this is stupid. Like what
Yeah,
are they
that
doing?
probably. If you weren't prepared, then you probably were like screwed.
Well, I think they gave him like a week or something, and they were like, you have a week to use all your money, and if you don't use it in the week, you can give it to us, and we'll give you 1/10 of it back. So if you had like 10 grand saved, we'll give you
Gosh,
1,000.
that sucks. That's not a
Yeah,
good deal.
yeah. So like my parents were saving money for like a remodel job, like a remodel job, or like something furniture for the house. Like
Uh-huh.
again, I guess we're buying the furniture now. We have to spend it this week. But like that
Yeah.
was like our cue. Like we gotta get out of this country. Like we
What
can't be
age
here
did you
with
guys
it.
leave?
I was like 4 or 5, so probably 94, 95, around there in Ukraine. Yeah, like it was like a new president, and that was like his new big plan. The money you have now is no good. We're giving you new money. It's
Do you
so stupid.
remember it? Do you remember like leaving and like moving to America? Do you remember
I,
that all?
I, I have like glimpses here and there. A lot of my memory, I think, is sparked by stories that I hear about what I did. So
Mm.
like maybe that has something to do with it. But like I do remember that. I remember I had an allergy to eggs when I was a kid, and I
Really?
loved eating eggs. But I had like it wasn't like a serious allergy. I just get like rashes on my face and stuff. Right. So, but I would love to eat them. So I'm like mom, I want eggs. And my mom's like, you can't have eggs. You have allergies. You can't have eggs. So I was 3 years old, and I knew my grandpa would give me eggs. So I got on a tricycle and drove on the tricycle to my grandpa's house. Now, we lived in the city. My grandpa lived in the country. Like, it
Oh
was
my
like 5 kilometers
gosh.
something away, like far away. 3 years old. I get a trike and say, screw you, mom. Not tell anybody. Don't do anything. Go to my grandpa's house. Get my eggs. Eat my eggs.
Oh my
Take the
gosh.
trike. And this city had it was like a big hub for railroads. So it had
Mhm.
like a 8-lane railroad system in the city to get out to get to the country. I
And you
drove right
passed all
past
of
that
them?
thing. All of them. Not one person stopped me. No one asked what is this 3-year old doing on a tricycle in the middle of a
That
train
would
station.
you would get if that happened in America, you would be kidnapped.
Yeah. I come home to like cops in my house. Everybody's worried. I'm like, I just want eggs.
Oh,
Yeah, so
that's
like
so
I
funny.
kind of remember that story, but all the details are filled in with my parents and my grandparents because they obviously were a lot older and
Mhm.
scared to death, so they told me everything. so like,
Wait,
so like
can you have eggs now?
yeah, I don't know what
Oh,
happened. I have eggs every day. Psh, I love my eggs. That's one thing
they're
I
pretty
miss.
awesome.
One big thing I miss from my parents is like I would always have fresh
Oh,
like
eggs.
the difference is huge between fresh eggs and the ones you get at the store.
Hmm.
So I have a farmer's market here that I go to buy mine, and the Amish. You know what Amish people are? I don't know.
Yep,
I don't
yep,
think.
yep, yep.
Yeah. So they sell their eggs there, so it's still like
Hmm.
pretty good.
Yeah, Amish people do
And
it.
I wouldn't even say that it's that
Common
expensive
people.
too. I pay him $5 for 30 eggs. I wouldn't
Wow,
say it's
that's
that
so
bad,
cheap.
right? That's pretty good, right?
So, a farm fresh egg here in Alaska costs $8.50 a dozen.
Yeah. See, that's well, it's probably a lot
And,
harder to get them. A lot
yeah,
harder to get them in Alaska.
yeah, and they're not even organic. They're just farm fresh.
Nah. They
They're
sell them
so
in the
good.
cartons, the 5x6 cartons, and it's $30. It's $5, $6, something like that for 30 of them. Yeah,
Dang, that's so
yeah.
cheap. What
That's why
else
I
is
could
cheap
hit
in Florida?
everything. my
How much is gas?
cucumbers, my cucumbers are eight for you get eight of them for $2. I think that's pretty good.
Wow. No,
Uh, our
like
or yeah, our cantaloupe is a dollar, usually a dollar a cantaloupe. Watermelon's like $3, $4. Yeah. We just have so much produce here that I guess it's cheaper
I
than
forget about
whatever.
that kind of stuff because here it's like a watermelon is 5.99 a pound. The cantaloupe is like 4.99 a pound, or sometimes cheaper,
Yeah,
3.99 a pound. And they're not a pound; they're like 3 pounds. Or a
yeah, the
watermelon's like huge, and so that's very expensive. Just
yeah,
why I
yeah,
don't buy
so like this farmers market, I think is just whatever they have an access off, they just do a big sale.
it.
So I went there last time, and I guess they had a big produce of asparagus or whatever. So they were selling bunches, 3 bunches of asparagus. There's probably like 12 to 15 per bunch. They were
Mm-hmm.
selling 3 bunches for $5. So it was like 45, 50 pieces of asparagus for $5. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm making asparagus this week.
That is cheap.
So like
Dang.
every meal, I was like, I guess I'm doing asparagus. That's gonna be my green of
So
choice.
I think that's why I'm so like because of our prices up here in Alaska. I'm so into homesteading because
No, for sure.
we don't. I did not grow enough food last year. Excuse me, but I did not grow enough food last year. We did not hunt enough food last year. Guess how much our grocery bill is right now per month? Family of 4 in Alaska.
Okay. I'm guessing it's high since you prefaced it with that. Family of four for a month.
And we did not have enough in the like we're out of our moose, we're out of our salmon, we're out of produce from last year. We have to buy everything at the store.
1,200.
More.
More? 2,000.
Okay, no, not that much more. Like I think it's like 1,500. If I do the math, it's over
Wow.
1,200. It's like 1,500. But right now we've been like doing it cheaper because I've been buying like oats in bulk and rice in bulk, and I'm like I'm just feeding my kids oatmeal and rice, and I make homemade
What you
bread.
go to like Costco or something? Do you have
Yeah,
Costco close to?
yeah, and then we
Okay.
also have a bulk seller who sells me like 50-pound bags of things. So I just buy that and I prepare. But if I'm there was a few months that we literally spent like I don't know, close to 2,000 a month. I could be wrong, but it was a lot of
Dang.
money.
I can see why you want to grow your own food. That's for sure.
Yeah,
And you
yeah,
say it's not like the best produce either, right? It's not fresh
yeah.
or whatever
It's
by the time you get
crap.
to it.
All the food at the grocery store is disgusting.
Dang, that would sheesh.
Yeah, like even the chicken is gross. Like we don't usually buy chicken. We didn't have to this whole past year. Um, in 2022, I did not buy chicken that entire year, but I just bought some for camping and to grill and stuff, and it was pretty nasty.
Yeah, we have another market, not a farmer market, another market about 40 minutes away from me. It's like also like Amish people that sell food there,
Hmm.
and the cheapest price you might ever pay for food is at that market. It's insane. Chicken's
I
like
think
80 cents a pound.
I wish we
Chicken.
had that up here because, like, I heard they have Amish stores as well, and you could buy like grains and stuff at
Yeah,
Amish stores for way
in PA
cheaper.
they do. My dad goes there to buy all the time grains and feed for chickens, all that stuff. He would go there.
Hmm.
Yeah, so they didn't have it at this one where I am, but the chicken there is like 80 cents a pound. 80 cents a pound. Who sells chicken for 80 cents a pound? Uh, yeah,
Wow.
steak like the steak that I buy, 4.99 a pound. Are you gonna ever gonna get steak for that cheap? So I go there and like legit, I buy enough for like a month or 2 months. I just put it all in the freezer, and I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, we're having chicken today, we're having pork today. But I have never seen prices that low in my life. It's like crazy.
Yeah. No, there's not a thing up here.
You can't find chicken for 80 cents a pound.
Heck no. I don't even know how much it is per pound. I just know that the chicken breast I bought was $12. The chicken breasts that I bought was $12 or
How
something, which
many?
I
How
thought was
many of
cheap.
them?
I don't know, like 4.
Oh yeah, it's so the same packs here. That's the one I get. They're like
Hmm.
380. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why
You
like
should
Alaska.
move to Florida. Be my neighbor. So
No,
close
no,
over
no,
here.
no. This is the year. This is the year, guys. We're gonna get enough meat. We're gonna get enough fish. We're gonna grow enough food. I'm gonna do it. Okay.
So explain to me the meat thing. So like you just like kill it and freeze it or whatever. That's how you
Hunting?
like plan to have it. Yeah. Well, you said how you're gonna plan for the winter. You just like
Oh, okay. So
freeze it or whatever, or how does it
yes,
work?
just freeze it. Freeze it, of course.
Do
That's
you
what we
have
do.
like a freezer in the house, or is it like a
Yeah, we do have a freezer. That's where we kept last year's moose and salmon. We have a freezer. It's empty now. Our freezer is like holding. Well, we had ice cream in there and like stupid things like that.
very important? Very important.
But like, we do want to fill the freezer up completely, and possibly even two freezers. Of just like meat, because moose
and
here
and
are like cows. They're big.
and it's moose that you guys kill yourselves.
Yeah, we go hunt, and
Wow.
a lot of Alaskans do that because of the prices of food up here. Everything has to get shipped up here. So hunting is like the most cheapest, sustainable way to feed a family. You know what I
Well,
mean?
makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna go hunt. Hopefully, we get something.
What does
You go
moose
hunting.
like taste like? It's like deer, I'm guessing, right? Like venison, close like gamey like
No,
that.
not gamey. I mean, it just depends. If you get a male moose, it does taste more gamey, but um, like an older male moose will taste definitely gamey. But yeah, you can get cow tags, which are female moose, which you shouldn't. I mean, a lot of people don't really hunt them, but you can get them. Like especially if they're in your yard, like we can hunt on our property.
Yeah, that makes
Um,
sense.
you just have to get the tags. But yeah, I mean, last year our moose tasted amazing. It was like a beef. The steaks were good. It was
Mm.
so good. The ground beef, we call it ground beef. It's ground ground beef pizza or burritos. It's not beef. But yeah, it was amazing. Like seriously, it was like the best meat ever. It didn't have any like gamey flavor to me at least. So
Well, that's what I hear. Like I watch Joe Rogan. He talks to a bunch of hunters from like Alaska, and he's
mhm.
like, if you want the most purest meat possible, because like the moose there,
Yeah.
they eat
And
plants the whole time. They don't eat trash or whatever. So if you want like the purest thing, that's what it
the
is.
more north you go, the better the moose because up north there's this lush tundra, and all the moose is eating is this lush tundra, which is like the best finisher, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
And so when you hunt a moose up north, it tastes so much better than a moose down south. That's what I heard.
He also said like the best thing he could have is a bear that ate blueberries his whole life. Like it's
Yes,
also somewhere in Alaska. There's some of those bears or whatever.
do not hunt bear that eat the fish because those are disgusting.
Yeah.
If you get a
Y-
bear that's in the mountains and away from fish streams, those are we haven't tasted them, so I don't know how they would taste, but I heard those are better. And you can like render bear fat into like a lot of bear fat, and that's what you can cook with. It's a
Yeah.
lot. It's like I don't know.
That's what I heard him say. He's like you can just like you're stocked for years
Yeah,
with
yeah.
just the fat, and then he said the meat is like so juicy and flavorful too because it tastes like blueberries. It has like a blueberry aftertaste in the meat, which is I was
Hmm.
like that sounds amazing.
Yeah, so like the wild game here is like we have the best here. Produce terrible, absolute terrible produce. But meat and fish like the salmon, oh my gosh, my husband brought home salmon this year, Copper River salmon. So it was like that deep like red fresh salmon,
Mm,
and
mm.
you're actually supposed to freeze salmon, but we didn't freeze it. We just ate it raw on
It was
like sashimi.
yeah. I don't blame
Oh,
you. Yeah.
it was so good. Like I want that right now.
Did it have roe in it as well, or just
Yeah,
salmon?
you can. The salmon we got didn't have roe, but a lot of the salmon does have
I
roe,
I
and you can
love
save it,
salmon
and you
roe,
can
man.
like yeah, and you
Oh,
can preserve it. Oh yeah, it is so
just
good.
put some little bread, it's a little butter, some roe on it.
That's it.
I I always post on it, and everybody's like, "That's disgusting" on my Instagram story. I'm like, "You haven't tried it, my friend. You don't know how amazing this
So,
is."
and it has to be prepared right, you know. So
Yeah.
you don't want that like half cooked or like half broken salmon roe. You want that like all of the balls are not broken and they're
You
fresh.
want all the balls, and you want them to pop in your mouth. You want to bite
Yes.
into them, and they pop in your mouth.
Yep. So good. And the way my mom prepared it, because my dad was actually a fisherman growing up, so we had unlimited of this stuff growing up. But
Oh my!
yeah, so we would prepare it with onions, like fresh onions, and pepper, and a
Ooh,
vinaigrette kind of thing. And it was like
ooh,
that was so good. That's like the way I like it,
that sounds
like
amazing.
thinly sliced onions.
Yeah, no, I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm getting
Yeah,
hungry now. It's
and
late
then
here, but I'm getting hungry.
and then we smoked salmon, and we made lox out of salmon, which is like the salty salmon, you know.
Yeah,
The
we call it silotka, but yeah, it's
yeah,
like Americans call it lox. Yeah,
yeah, it's so
my
good.
mom still makes it to this day. That's she so good. It's
It
so good.
is
Yeah,
such a delicacy.
yeah.
We ate that like every week.
Yeah. It's a good transition too. Like I try to end off all the shows with a rank 5 game. So I don't think you I don't know if you watched the episode of Amber.
I
I'm
almost
gonna
finished it, but I don't think I got
oh
to the end.
okay. So like I will give you 5 things. You have to rank them blindly without knowing what comes next. Okay. So on a scale of 1 to 5. So and the thing I'm giving you is Russian food or
Oh,
Ukrainian food.
5,
Well,
6,
no,
10 out of
I'm
10.
giving you 5 different Russian foods. You don't know what's coming.
Oh, five
Yeah.
different Russian foods. Okay, my number
So
one.
no, you can't tell me what it is. I'm going to give you a food. You have to tell me if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 on your list. Okay,
Okay,
and you can't
okay,
change your mind. So
okay,
number 1 I have for you is a holubtsi. You know what that is?
okay. What's is 5 the highest or is 1 the highest?
One's the highest.
Okay, Holotsu is number 5.
Okay, so holubtsi for people that don't know, it's like stuffed cabbage with like rice and ground meat, right? That's how you would describe it.
Yeah, number 5.
You're not a cabbage person. You don't like cabbage, or
I
what is it about it you
love
don't like it?
cabbage. I do love cabbage, but the stuffed cabbage, just as long as it doesn't have tomatoes in it and it has cheese and beef in it, maybe.
Okay, so you don't like the sauce or whatever the in the
Yeah.
hoops. Okay. Do you like stuffed peppers or no?
Oh yeah, especially if it's filled with meat and cheese.
All right. Holubtsi is 5. Okay. Next is borscht. Red
Hmm.
borscht. I don't know if you have
I
green
say
one as
3.
well.
I say
Borscht is
3.
3. Yeah. Borscht. How would you describe borscht to somebody that has never had borscht before?
It is actually beets, beets soup, and
Yes.
meat, and what else do we put in there?
Beans.
Onions, beans. I don't know. It's like a vegetable soup, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the main
Like
ingredient is beets. That's why it looks purple or whatever to the
it's
eye.
like a deep color, yeah, and you could stain
Yeah.
your clothes with it. FYI.
Do you put sour cream in your borscht?
Oh, of course.
Okay, I was just making sure you're still Slavic. I was
Yeah,
just
yeah.
making sure.
You put every soup you put sour cream in. Every single.
Do you make green borscht as well, or just the regular borscht?
I've never made green. What's green borscht? What is the
Green
difference?
borscht is like it's some kind of leaf. It's like boiled eggs are in there. I know that, and it's some kind of like it's. I wouldn't say it's a kale, but it's like a leaf close to like a kale that's in it. It's like a little sourish.
Nope,
Yeah,
never
yeah.
tried it. Never actually. I've never.
I heard from my mom because my mom makes it. She said like only special parts of like the Soviet Union made it based on the vegetables that grow in it. So you have to be in a specific region. So not many people do about it. Okay, so you have borscht at 3, holubtsi at 5, kotlety are next.
What?
Kotlety, do you know what those are?
Yes, remind me what they are. That sounds so familiar.
It's I don't know how to remind how to
Kotletje is what we call them.
it's like little patties. I'll
Oh,
show a
and
picture. The
they're
people that are
so.
watching, they'll see it
Are
like
they
that.
salmon? Because I remember kotletje being fish,
No,
But you could
these are
also,
like usually ground pork or like turkey or chicken like that. This is what they are.
yeah, we made
Y-
them with fish too.
This
And
is this
yes,
is a
those
this is pretty much the picture of it right there.
they're just like flat meatballs. And I remember
Pretty
eating
much
them
right there.
as
That's the
like
picture. Oh,
they're
you
like a
don't see it.
snack. Like literally, you just eat them like as just a cutretki, and you have a dipping sauce sometimes.
Yeah. Do you see that picture? All right.
Yeah, 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 just like that.
We're talking about the same thing here. Yeah.
I would say
Okay. Yeah.
two, especially if there's a good dipping sauce.
Those things smack, man. Yeah.
Yeah, they
That's
are,
nice. Yeah.
especially in
And
the middle of the night, like when you need a snack of some sort.
yeah.
There's like
You can have them hot or you can have them cold. They're good no matter what
there's usually
temperature they
like a
are.
plate of them always left over somewhere, and like
Always, yeah.
covered the
Yeah,
towel.
with a paper towel or a
Yeah.
towel. That's very
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, you had to cover it.
And then my mom would like store them in the fridge in like a cream puff box. It wasn't just like a like from like a Costco like the cream puff box. She would
Yeah,
put them
yeah,
in
yeah.
there. So
Yep.
that's a good. So that's two. Pilmeni.
Oh, number one. Yes, number one. I make it every Christmas, every Easter. I make it with my kids. That way they have memories making pilimenja.
Wow.
So it's my
And
number
you do
one.
like fresh dough, right? You do
Yeah,
all
I
fresh
make it
from
out of my
yeah.
own eggs. Yeah.
Ooh, that pies. Oh, that pies
Last
smacks.
Christmas, no, this Christmas, I made them out of moose and pork and our own eggs in the dough. It was like,
Oh my.
yeah.
I'm like salivating right now.
And you had to have, I don't know if you guys did this, but we had soya sauce and sour cream and pepper.
Oh no, soy sauce?
Yeah, like on the side as a dipping
I gotta
sauce.
try that with soy sauce.
I think it's
Oh.
because my side of the family went to the Asian countries for like a decade or so. I think that's where they got it, and they took it with them.
I gotta try that. So we usually have it with sour cream, or we make our own sauce out of the broth that the pilimeno cooked in. And then we add
Ooh.
black pepper and vinegar to it.
Pepper,
Yeah.
pepper.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Yeah, but the pilimeno are my number one food. I would eat those things
Me
all
too.
day.
I could eat them and it's so easy because once you prepare them, they're in the freezer. You just have to
Yeah.
boil the water, or you can actually do plastic conversion too. You can like fry them up, but I just boil water. and
boiled
throw it
are
in,
way
they're
better.
done.
Yeah. So it was my birthday last month, and my mom flew over with my dad and my aunt, and their gift to me was my mom and my aunt made me like a ton of them and put them. So whenever I'm hungry, I just we're
That's awesome.
having they would like be here like up all night folding them and making
Yeah.
them, and I'm like, thanks guys.
Best birthday present ever.
Yes, it's the best gift. That's one. Very smart. I agree with you. And then
Yes.
last one is shruba. Do you know what that is?
True, but no. Actually, I don't know what that is. I might know it if you show me a picture.
It's like a salad that looks crazy.
Is it also with beets?
Yes.
Okay, then yeah, I have it. We've always had that, but I don't know what we called it. We didn't call it shuba.
This right here.
Ooh, I like that too. What did
It's-
we call
it's-
it? We didn't call it that what you just said. We called it something else.
Well, shuba is a weird. Shuba translates to fur coat. So I never understood why we called it a fur coat. but apparently it's supposed to mean like there's like a herring underneath the bottom layer of the salad is a herring, and it's covered in a fur coat. That's kind of what we call it. That's the meaning of it. But it's like a bunch of layers. People that are watching on YouTube, you guys will see it.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of layers of like potatoes, carrots, beets.
That sounds so good. Right now.
The bottom layer is a seafood, usually herring, like stilotka, or salmons. People make it with salmon. Here's a picture of a smoked salmon under that right there.
Ooh, that
Yeah.
looks good too. All these foods look
Yeah.
good.
That's like when I come home, my mom makes me that because she knows I love that thing, and I could eat a whole bowl. So that has to be 4 for you, unfortunately. That's the number
Well,
4.
what did I choose for 3?
Borscht.
Okay, I would switch those two.
Yeah, but you can't.
I know.
That's not the game. But I would switch those two as well. But you got pilimeni and katita though. Those are a heavy one too.
Yes.
That's smart choices. And
Really
it
good.
was funny because when I would have like friends or whatever, and I would tell them I eat this stuff, and they would be like, "What is wrong?"
Only the Slavic people will understand.
Yeah, like they come home and it's like colorful salads on the plate. Like, what is that?
They're so good. And like
Yeah,
they don't know how good it is.
they don't. And a lot of people like say eat with their eyes first, and they're like, "I don't want that." I'm like, "Bro, just trust me. It's like try it.
Yeah.
You will act differently for sure."
Yeah.
Did you ever have holodets growing up?
Yes. Wait. I'm getting two things mixed up. So when you told me the cabbage stuffed rolls, I was thinking it was that gelatin meat thing that
Yeah,
my mom
that's
made.
holodets. That's
Okay.
holodets. Yeah, that's what I'm talking
So
about right now.
what's the
Yeah,
cabbage? What'd you call the cabbage roll?
holopsi.
Okay, golubtsu. Okay, that's what it is. So we called it golubtsu with a G,
Ah, okay.
and you called it with an H.
Yeah, an H. Yeah, holopsi.
So
Yeah.
when you said it, I thought it was the gelatin meat thing. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
that would be at the bottom of the list for me too. I
Yeah.
mean, I would
But
still eat it, but it's at
yeah,
the bottom of
same
the
here.
list.
That's
Yeah.
what I was about to say. I'm like, I will still eat it if it's in front of me because it's kind of
Yeah.
interesting.
Interesting. Yeah. I would have like a piece of bread next to it with like horseradish sauce on top, and
Oh,
like eat it
hmm
like that. That's a good combination. So
yeah.
yeah,
It's not like
it's
the worst thing in the world. Like, there's definitely more foods
it,
that are worse,
it,
but it's
people that are watching it. It looks way worse than it tastes. I'm saying it does not look good.
let's
I'll
just
give people
let's
that.
let's describe it to them. So it's kind of like a Jello, but in it it's meat.
It's not kind of like it is a Jello. It's not kind of like it's definitely a Jello.
So when
I'll
you're
show
eating
some
it,
pictures for the YouTubes if they look when they're watching it. It's
it does not look good.
look at this one. Look at this fancy one. If the little
Whoa.
boiled eggs look like pigs,
Oh
they
my
take it
gosh.
seriously.
Is there like
Yeah,
a
it's
sliced one? Yeah, like
uh
that does not look
yeah.
good if you're like not a Slavic
Oh
person.
wow, look at these people put lemons in it and
Oh,
everything. They're
that an
fancy.
herb on top? That is fancy.
Yeah. Yeah, so
No,
like
we had
I would like I don't blame my friends if they come over and they see that and I don't want to eat it. I'm like I understand. I understand. I understand if you don't want to
yeah.
put that in your mouth.
No, Baba made that all the time. My
Yeah.
grandma. I
Yes.
don't know if
So
my
it's like a
parents.
gelatin with pig
Yeah,
and carrots. I think it was only carrots for mine. People put like eggs in them and stuff as well.
we never had
And,
eggs in it.
and the gelatin is like made of the broth, like pig broth, right,
Like
or something like that, right?
cooked down to make the
Yeah.
gelatin, like, and then you cool it off, and it turns into this like Jello, like a legit Jello. And you
I
serve it like as a square.
yeah. I wonder who got this idea.
I don't
Who
know.
who in Siberia or Russia where I was like, you know what? Let's boil this. Then let's put gelatin. Let's put gelatin in it.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I gotta figure out what the idea of it came from because it's a wild idea. It's a crazy idea to make it, but yeah,
It's such a weird food too. Like such a weird.
it's a weird dish.
It reminds me of like the 1970s Jello dishes where they would put like everything in Jello.
Yeah, the '60s were a good year for Jello, man. Jello did good in the '60s.
Yeah.
And Jello molds were everywhere. People loved. Yeah, maybe it was like the Russian version of the Jello craze. Maybe that's what it was.
Probably.
Never, yeah.
But I wonder if it's like if it's been around for generations and generations. What if it's been before that?
Can you
You know?
make? Can you make a homemade gelatin, or you have to buy that at the store? I don't even know how to make
Yeah,
gelatin. So.
yeah. Gelatin is like you said. You added gelatin. They don't add gelatin. The gelatin comes from the pig itself.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So that's.
I thought they like stirred like gelatin in it or something. See, I don't know how it's baked.
I mean, I'm sure you could if you want to like cut down the boiling time. But the way my baba made it was she boiled down the pig's feet to get that gelatin out, and then that's the. I mean, technically, gelatin is it comes from animals. There's fruit
Interesting.
gelatin too, but the original gelatin came from
Wow, so I gotta probably call mine and ask her. I bet you did. So this whole time I thought they were putting some kind of like science formula into it. They probably just boil it down too.
Just
Okay, that makes a
Google a
lot more
recipe.
sense.
Google a
Yeah,
recipe for Holodettes, and I'm sure it'll tell you exactly how to do it.
yeah. So maybe it was like a survival thing too, because I know like Ukrainians like eat every part of the animal, just like a
Yep.
lot of cultures like do. So they're like, all right, let's make this pig feet work or
It
something. Let's
is.
get something out of him.
It is full of collagen. Like it's really good for your hair, nails, and skin anyway. So
Oh, so,
very good.
so people that are watching and your hair's falling off or whatever, your nails are falling off,
Eat some
start eating
Holodettes.
some
It'll save
eat some
you.
holodets. There we go. Still, one thing you learn from this podcast is eat this and don't go to the gym. That's the one thing we kind of teach.
Yeah, you run over something. Yeah, $500 part,
Yeah. If you want to go to the gym, be prepared to spend $500. That's what we're trying to teach you today.
or just don't go. Yeah.
Man, that was awesome. That was a quick 2 hours. We were on for 2 hours. That was super fast.
Yeah, that was quick. What the heck? Has it been 2 hours? What time is it
Yeah.
right now?
Because I don't know if you can tell on the top right that
I
it's
can't see.
recording.
I can't touch. I
Oh,
don't want to
on
touch my phone because
oh yeah,
I'm gonna mess it
yeah,
all up.
yeah. We've been recording for 2 hours and 10 seconds. It's crazy.
Oh, there it is. Did you just pop it up?
No, it's been there the whole time. You probably just didn't see it. It's been there the whole time.
Yeah. Do you want to know what you're sitting on?
It's, I would love to know where I'm sitting. Uh-oh.
It's a cheese grater. And my phone, my phone fits perfectly in this little in between these two handles.
When you messaged me, you said I'm setting up the tripod. I'm like, oh, this gotta be good.
Oh, I was actually gonna use. So I was using this. Okay. And
Oh,
I put like layers. You see how there's like a little like notch in here? I'm like,
yeah.
okay, the phone will go in there, but it just kept falling. And I'm like, okay, I need to find something else. And I found the cheese grater, and I'm like, heck
Cheese
yeah.
grater to the rescue, man.
Cheese grater tripod.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Um,
So if people are watching, how can they? Where are you gonna get most of your content from? Are you just Instagram now, or do you still TikTok, YouTube?
I want to do YouTube, but I need a good camera first. I bought a camera and then I didn't like it, so I stopped filming and I deleted my YouTube channel. Well, like the videos.
Yeah,
But
I saw there was nothing there. I was like, what happened?
yeah, I just need a good like camera setup before I do it, and like especially since we don't have Wi-Fi right now, and I do have a laptop right here. It's right in front of me, but I still like need to figure out a better editing software because if I'm gonna do YouTube again, I gotta do it better than I
I
did before.
loved your videos were very like you were doing
Yeah,
like zoom ins on like different like plants and stuff, and like it was like fade in, fade out. So it was very well made when you were putting them out. I thought they were really cool.
but I filmed that on my phone, so I need like a camera.
It turned out really good too. I was like
But
it was like really awesome stuff.
yeah, but that's like one day in the future, and and it's gonna be like granny stuff. It's gonna be like canning and gardening. It's gonna be like grandma core,
Love
okay?
it, love it.
Yeah, babushka core. But
But
if you want to see
right
like
now
my last,
Instagram, right? But so
yeah,
right
if you
now
want to
Far
see
North
my
Thrift, yeah.
yep. Well, Far North Home is my
Oh,
homesteading
oh yeah,
account,
Far North Home. Sorry, yeah.
and then Far North Thrift is my thrifting account. But I don't Far North Thrift. I kind of like forgot about it. I haven't posted on it in a long time. But
Yeah.
I'm more active on my Far North Home, and that's where you'll like see my day to day stuff, like my, the off grid life, the real life, the roughing it
Yeah.
life.
The big part, like the reason why they should be following is like your stories are like the coolest thing. Like you
Yeah,
share a lot of
I
like
post
a
my
lot of
stories
really
a
good
lot.
stories. Yeah. That's the
Um,
same thing with like my IG. I don't really make many posts, but I do a lot of stories. So like it's like people should definitely be checking out on you, and it's pretty cool to see
yeah,
every day. Oh, look at these! I'm growing this. I'm growing this. Look at these
yeah.
eggs. Look at this. It's really cool.
And I've been sharing on that Instagram about only homesteading stuff. So, you know, for like the past 3 years. But yeah, that's where you can find me. And then I also have a TikTok, but I also kind of slowed down on that too. I like post like once a month if
You got tired of all the money they were giving you? All right.
No, they give you so little.
That chicken video made you like pennies,
Yeah.
dimes, quarters.
No, pennies. You're right.
Pennies? Pennies is right?
No, you're right. Okay, so if you get 1,000,000 views, you get hundreds of dollars or thousands. If you get like the views that I'm getting now, you get pennies.
But that chicken video got like millions, didn't it?
Oh, that one. Yeah. I got a few hundred off of that one. But
Yeah.
all the other videos.
The most
mean-
popular chickens in the world. We have no clue why that one blew up, but people love those chickens, man.
Yeah, that one blew up. And I still like to this day get a bunch of likes on it. And it's not even like just in the US. I have people from all over the world liking it in different languages. Like TikTok people with like a different language. I don't even know what
Wow.
language their name would be in. You know,
That's
it's like
cool.
all different. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I still get views on that one in particular, but that's it.
So your TikTok is the same thing, far north home
Home.
or far north home?
Yeah,
All right.
far north home.
If you guys are watching on YouTube, those links will be in the description below. Make sure you guys go give Anfisa a follow. She's pretty cool. Go watch her fail with her third greenhouse. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, it's gonna be so awesome. You guys will watch it fly away in the wind.
Great content. Great content. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. Thank you so much, man. This was a lot of fun. I gotta have you on again in the future.
So thanks for
I'll
inviting me.
I'll have you on in your winter. You can show me how your winters are.
Oh yeah. Winter is rough. Oh, and winter we only have one source of heat, by the way, a wood stove. So you gotta stock that wood stove up.
You gotta be bundled by that thing too, right? You gotta that. I don't think the heat transfers too well. Dang.
No, the cabin is very well insulated, thankfully. Not the RV. Cabin
Yeah, it
is
makes sense.
good. It's good.
It was built by a professional. The cabin was built by a pro.
Nikita, my husband.
That's right, Nikita, the man. I
man
gotta
of
have him. I gotta have him on a future episode. Just talk to him
He's
for an
like-
hour.
It was so funny because he's like, "Am I invited?" I'm like, I mean, yeah, you could, but it's like it's also harder because if there's more than 3 people, I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny,
We'll definitely have Nikita on. I want to hear what he says about you.
Yeah,
What his real thoughts about was when you went over to Starlink. I want to see what his real thoughts were about.
Oh, yeah, or his real thoughts about homesteading. 'Cause this is all my idea.
Might be eye opening to you. Like, oh, that's what he
He's the one
feels.
he's the one that does the brunt of the work. You know, the dirt work, the building, the chopping
Yeah.
of the wood.
It's a lot of wood to chop. That's a
Yeah.
lot of wood. That's a long winter. Okay.
Alright.
All right.
Yeah.
Tell Tom I said hello as well when you see him.
I will, and I'm gonna send him once this is posted. I'm definitely sending him the link because he works a lot of hours and he always needs a podcast. So
Oh, there we go.
send him the link of your podcast.
There we go. Appreciate it. Nikita, if you're watching in the future, what's up?
Comment, Nick, so he knows that.
Oh, there we
That
go.
means-
Yeah, dude.
Oh, and you'll know because then he'll watch till the end. You know, or listen
Oh,
So,
that's true.
you'll
There we
know.
go. That's a very good point. I'll know Nikita if
won't
you
tell
watching
him.
that.